Show me what you got, no you can't resist. You know I'm ready for this, I just do what I do. I ain't got nothing to prove, so just roll with this. Yeah baby, roll with this. I can do this all day, I can do this all day. Back up, I'ma run this town. I'm headed for the top and you know it's going down. I can do this all day.
What's the best thing we grow in Ōtautahi Christchurch? Time and space to play. We have some stunning playgrounds here. Exciting ones and inspiring ones. Playgrounds for children and your inner child too. We grow delicious kai that brings everyone together. We grow great times, once in a lifetimes, and unforgettable memories. We grow by enjoying big things and the little things too. If you're seeking balance, this is the place to grow a deeper connection to our nature, culture, and people. Ōtautahi Christchurch.
Kia ora, hello, welcome in to the beautiful Garden City Ōtautahi Christchurch for another edition of the ITM, the International Track Meet here on what's a beautiful day at Ngā Puna Wai. Nick Bewley with Sarah Kelly-Ross alongside again, and I'll tell you what, Sarah, I've been doing the preview for this event. You just look at this field. I know every year it's impressive, but it is stacked. How much are you looking forward to today?
Oh, I cannot wait. So many internationals, but closer to home, we have got the big guns here this afternoon. The likes of Olympic champion Hamish Kerr, Paralympic champion Anna Gribaldi, Tom Walsh, many, many more, and it's going to be great.
It's already been a massive week for track and field here in New Zealand. For those tuning in around the world, we have what's known as our Halberg Awards, effectively the annual New Zealand Sporting Awards. You mentioned Hamish Kerr, you mentioned Anna Grimaldi, Sportsman and Para-Athlete of the Year. How good?
It was great. I was fortunate enough to be at the Halberg Awards this year, and it was wonderful to see those two be recognised as a class above for all of their achievements in 2024. Massive year for them both, and wonderful to be at an evening celebrating sporting success and for athletics to be right up there front and centre.
Speaking of celebration, it's important to acknowledge today, it is the 22nd of February, which 14 years ago, the landscape of Canterbury changed significantly with a devastating earthquake here. But just reflecting on the earthquake, Sarah, and I know you were part of the early editions of the International Track Meet, which had to evolve. It was out at QE2, which is no more. It then went to Christ College. We had street meets. It really is a story in itself about how Canterbury have bounced back, isn't it, the ITM?
Yeah, it's huge, and I think that this meet has really shown the resilience of Canterbury, of the people. Full credit to the organisers because they have ploughed ahead year on year. And I think, you know, I was working at QE2, before the earthquake, so it was a real spiritual home for Canterbury athletics, but the way that these guys have bounced back. I competed at the Christ College edition, which was just such an amazing afternoon of track and field. So yeah, it was a wonderful time, and it's great to see how these guys have bounced back and sport has bounced back in the region.
And now we're here at Ngā Puna Wai. I think of someone like Tom Walsh, who's in the field today. He was saying on News Talk ZB this morning, he's been at all but one of these from the start, from 2009, which just goes to show how important this event has been. Hard question to finish, Sarah, but what are you looking forward to today?
Oh, everything, Nick, everything. I think for me, you know, when I look at the whole fields, I'm really keen to see Hamish Kerr in action here on his home track, but also really keen the Japanese hurdlers that have come out. You know, 3 sub-13 hurdlers is incredible to have that calibre field in New Zealand. We've got a raft of other athletes. I'm going to go to you now. Who are you most looking forward to seeing?
Well, speaking of innovation from the organisers' standpoint, they've added the 60-metre dash, which has helped attract our 2 quickest in Zoe Hobbs and Tian Welpton. They'll be in the 60 and the 100 a little bit later on. So really looking forward to that, but there's so much to get stuck into. Enjoy your time with us this afternoon. We're going to throw now to a special interview with one of our international athletes who is involved in the women's hammer. She is from Canada and her name is Jillian Weir.
My name is Jillian Weir. I'm a Canadian hammer thrower, and I came down to Christchurch, New Zealand for the competition this weekend, and looking forward to getting my 2025 season started. I'm excited. First time to New Zealand, and just looking to get a couple meets down here in Oceania, and hopefully a good result, but looking forward to getting a good training block in as well. I've heard good things, yeah. I've competed against Lauren before, and also Julia Ratcliffe, who I know is now retired, and I've always wanted to come down to New Zealand, so happy to be here.
Hello, back in the caravan at Ngā Puna Wai in Christchurch. Nick Bewley here, and for the first time this afternoon on the stream, great to welcome in Craig Motley, who of course is, well, he wears so many different hats, but very much a part of the organisational team that puts this meet together. Great for you to join us here in the commentary caravan, Craig, and we're about to get straight into the men's and women's hammer throw action, but what a day Christchurch has turned on. You couldn't be much happier with that.
We've been waiting 5 years for this. This is fantastic. There's just a light easterly breeze and perfect conditions. Nice and warm for the sprinters. Good tailwind. Throwers are loving it out there as well, and I think the athletes are all pretty wrapped.
Yeah, so if you weren't aware, we are going to take the back straight and make the most of that easterly. You can see the hurdles there just to the right outside of the birdcage. The hurdles, the first of our track events to come this afternoon, but plenty to get in and amongst. There we go. Look at the hurdles there. But let's keep you up to date with what you have missed. We did start the hammer slightly earlier, so this is live action from the women's and men's hammer, which is happening concurrently. And I believe just on the men's, Craig, we've got a couple of meet records that have gone. It was Shota Fukuda, who of course won the men's hammer last year and had that meet record. He bettered it with a 69.21 with his second attempt, and then his countryman from Japan, Tatsuto Nakagawa, has gone 9 centimetres better, 69.30. So we've got the three Japanese competitors out in front, but some classy New Zealand throwers as well, with Anthony Noblo and Anthony Barnes.
Yeah, some great throwing. We've got 4 up in the high 60s. They all want that 70-metre mark, and that's the goal for them today. And I was talking to Anthony Barnes earlier, and he's definitely seeking a mid-70s. So usually takes them a couple of rounds to really get warmed up. And we have one of the Japanese competitors into the circle now. This is last year's winner, Fukuda Shota, 69.21 in his second round. Plenty of speed in the circle there.
Just hits the left net, so won't be any improvement there. But yeah, great to see. Of course, putting the eye in international, the eye in the ITM with these 3 Japanese athletes competing in our men's hammer. In the women's hammer, just an update so that everyone, we're basically at the midpoint through the 3rd round, and not much of a surprise, I suppose you could say, Craig, with Lauren Bruce out in front nice and early. Of course, a 2-time Olympian, her best so far with her most recent attempt, 68.61.
Yeah, she'll be happy with that. It's the season's best so far, but again, she'll be looking for the 70 as well. As we see Damien Wells from Australia releasing, a competitor here last year, loves coming over, made the trip especially for us, and he's looking for a personal best today as well. Get his result up there in a second. And Lizzie Hewitt from the Mana Athletics Club in Wellington, coached by Shaka Sola, she's out to 55 metres, season's best for her, very close on her best early on. And we also have a personal best to a little competitor from South Canterbury, Orla Motley, in the first round with a 2-metre PR with the 4 kg, so she's pretty happy as well.
There are some of these distances beginning to trickle through in terms of where the men's and women's hammer, of course, it is a bronze status on our World Athletics Continental Tours. Some key points up for grabs, and great to see so many of these bronze events as part of our ITM program this afternoon.
Heath Abbott, New Zealand Secondary Schools champion there. He's failed that one, unfortunately. A young man with a big future, won the New Zealand Secondary Schools pretty comfortably, but obviously at 18 years of age, he's stepping up to the senior 7.26 kg weight now, but giving a good go with a 43 and a 44 first up.
Here's one of our twin Anthonys, Anthony Noblo.
Yeah, he'll be looking for that 7-0 mark as well. I think he's thrown a few 69s. And that's the big barrier for the hammer throwers. Once they're throwing over 70 regularly, they're right up there. So Anthony certainly searching for that today, our 2 top New Zealand competitors. Very fast in the circle.
A bit about centre as we take a wide view, and it's up towards that 70 mark.
Oh, that's close. Let's keep an eye on the result coming up. Anthony will be pretty happy. Is it a personal best of 69.72?
Gradual improvement too, Craig. 65.96 for the first, 67, excuse me, with the second. Wait for that to come through.
And 66, so he's peppering that mark, peppering it.
Some consistency there. So we take a bit of a look through in terms of some of our early events in the program, not too far away from our women's long jump, getting underway at 1:15, so in about 3 minutes' time. First of our track events, the men's 110-metre hurdles at 1:30. And it really starts to get busy after 2 o'clock in particular.
This is Kashimura from Japan into the circle, currently in 3rd place, but certainly capable of getting out there.
body language here didn't seem to be as happy as he was with his second effort, 68.68. Again, flirting with that 70-metre mark. Possibly not an improvement. We'll wait for clarification. There is our leader as things stand, Tatsuto Nakagawa.
A neat record for him so far, and he'll have to get up over that 70 as well. Japanese competitors really like it here. They're telling me they love the circle, and the conditions today are very pleasing, coming from a Japanese winter.
One-time national champion, and let's see if we can pick this up. It's out to the left. It stays in. White flag goes up. Just sort of noticed there that easterly breeze favouring our competitors early this afternoon. Nakagawa is a one-time national champion. Fukura Shota, two-time national champion, and then we've got Ryota Kashimura, four-time national champion. So these three gentlemen here really dominate the hammer throw ranks in Japan for some time. Great to have them all here. I know you go to a great amount of work, Craig, and your team to get these international athletes here, and as you're saying, they must love it to keep coming back.
Yeah, look, we've established a great relationship with some of the Japanese athletes and their agents, and we have, I think, 30 here, and Tatsuda's gone out 3 centimetres further to 69.33, tantalisingly close to the 70-metre mark. But yeah, we have about 30 Japanese competitors. There's about 5 agents who I regularly talk to, who obviously the time zone suits, the travel suits. It's good for them getting out of their winter, particularly someone like the hammer throwers who don't get indoor competition. We see Anthony Barnes here.
Again, closing in. It's just a little awkward, I suppose, based on that camera shot to see if that's north of 70. It's certainly there or thereabouts in the high 60s, but we'll take a moment while that official measurement comes through. Just got a wee shot there too of the women's long jump, which isn't too far away from getting underway. We'll bring you some of the early attempts there.
66.82 for Anthony Barnes, so again he's looking for that 70-metre mark, and he'll be looking to crack it, which would actually put him in the lead. It's actually a really tight competition there. There's 5 of them within about 2 metres of each other.
Just warming up our women's long jumpers. We'll just quickly glance through our field. The graphic is going to display. Maybe those names aren't going to show up. It's okay. We've got from New Zealand a local athlete, Hannah Sandilands, Phoebe Edwards as well out of the Kiwi Athletic Club, Kelsey Berryman too out of Christchurch Old Boys, flying the flag for New Zealand. But there are international athletes with Nagisa Yamamoto representing the United States, Elizabeth Heading as well out of Australia. Plenty still to come from our long jump. We will keep you across that as competition gets back underway.
Yeah, the hammer now will be, they'll just be doing a slight rearrangement at the halfway mark, and the officials will be putting them in rank order for how they've done in the first 3 rounds. So we'll see a reverse from the lowest rank to the highest rank. It'll just take them a couple of minutes to do that, then we'll be underway again with the women's. And I think we're going to see Jillian Weir, who is actually our favourite, the highest thrower in the competition, the Canadian Olympian. She's had 3 fouls, which will of course place her 8th in the field. So she will be throwing first, but she could easily take the lead from there.
It was interesting hearing prior to the broadcast, Craig, Jillian Weir's background, Commonwealth Games, just in behind Julia Ratcliffe, I believe. Julia split the 2 Canadians
Yes.
in terms of the medals, and some pedigree in track and field as well with her dad, an Olympian, I believe, representing Great Britain. Had some coaching time as well with Beatrice Famuina, so first time down here as well, which is fantastic.
Yeah, she's loving it because her dad obviously had some family history in New Zealand, and she'd always wanted to visit. So she arrived a couple of days early, has been taking in a couple of sites, doing a bit of training, and loving her time here. So we hope to see her again in the future, but she'll be looking to get one in the sector early on, and looks like she's prowling around outside the circle. She knows she's the next thrower. She's just waiting for the officials to tell her so, and then she's going to get out there and throw. But she's ramped up and ready to go. Of course, the hammer, it is very, very technical, and we've seen in the past, medal favourites bowing out at the Olympics and World Champs with 3 fouls and not getting through to the top 8. It is very difficult when you're throwing a 4 kg ball on the end of a metal wire and spinning around 3, 4 or 5 times in the circle and trying to release it between a very narrow point and get it to go down the middle. And it looks like we're starting the long jump here.
Yeah, this is Nagisa Yamamoto of Japan, and doesn't quite get the footwear she would have liked, so that will be a no foul. Possibly a good opportunity though to quickly scan through some of our fantastic events we do have coming up, both track and field. And I was mentioning to Sarah earlier, Craig, isn't it fantastic the week we've just had, our Halberg Awards, which for those of you tuning in from overseas, it's effectively our annual New Zealand Awards. Hamish Kerr picking up Sportsman of the Year, Anna Grimaldi Para Athlete of the Year, given their amazing success they had at Paris. And we've got both of them here, just awesome.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic, both fantastic athletes who love promoting the sport as well. I think many people thought Anna's speech, it looks like we've just got a slight foul there. Lizzie Heading, I think it is, in the long jump. Anna's speech of acceptance was fantastic, and Hamish winning obviously the overall Sportsman of the Year, but we also had Ethan Olivia as the Young Sportsperson of the Year nominee. James Sandiland, Hamish's coach, was one of the nominees for the Coach of the Year. So athletics is riding a real high in a number of different sports, so it's great to see.
So the men's high jump, for those Hamish Kerr fans out there, that gets underway at 3:20. So
Phoebe Edwards on the long jump runway, former New Zealand heptathlon rep at the World Under-18s, has come back, made it itself into a long jumper now, and just slight overstep there. We've got a wee tailwind on there, so the jumpers will probably might just be overstepping with that tailwind, so they'll be adjusting their run-ups. The coaches will be looking and giving them some feedback. But we've got a really good feel in this long jump. I think every single competitor has jumped over 6 metres, so very, very good feel.
Next up on the runway is Riko Sharato of Japan. First strides down. And again, that looked like a pretty clear overstep.
Yeah.
That's the challenge, isn't it, with that wind, Craig, you were just alluding to?
Yeah, just trying to get it exactly right. You saw her take a couple of short steps there to try and get in on the board. She obviously recognised she was going to be heading over, tried to make it through, but just a slight overstep in the end. And all of the athletes so far having a little bit of difficulty with that run-up, but they'll adapt, they're used to it. And I'm sure we'll see some good clear jumps very shortly.
Here's one of our local athletes and very much enjoying himself, getting nice and free and loose in that zone, is Hannah Sandilands.
It's Hannah, the wife of James, the coach we just mentioned, Hamish Kerr's coach. One of our top Canterbury long jumpers, and another red flag. They're all having a little bit of difficulty with that, but that was a fairly big jump, so she'll probably get a bit of benefit from that, thinking, yeah, I know I can go far as long as I hit the board properly. We mentioned, obviously Hamish is in the high jump a little bit later, Anna Grimaldi. We've got Olympian Lauren Bruce in the hammer at the moment. But the sprints, Nick, I know you're a fan of the sprints, and we've got some pretty good sprint fields later on.
Well, I was mentioning in the preview with Sarah, I think it's fantastic that you've added the 60-metre dash to get really excited about as we take a look at Tamisha Clark out of Australia now on the runway. And this could be our first legal
It is.
Straight
Right
to the
on
top,
board.
Tanisha. But I know it was an intention to help with the likes of Zoe Hobbs, Tian Welton being able to qualify for the World Indoors in Nanjing. You can now have an outdoor 60-metre time that can qualify you for that World Indoor event. But just to have it here on the program, to be able to attract, I know Tian's local, but to have Zoe come down is fantastic. To see them run both in the 60 and the 100, very exciting. So those 60-metre sprint races just before 2 o'clock, the women, and then followed by the men, and then the 100 an hour later. So good stuff.
Yeah, they're really looking forward to the 60. Ella Connolly from Australia, top Australian sprinter, part of their 4x1 team as well, and she won the Australian short course 60-metre champs a couple of weeks ago, so Zoe won't have it all her own way by any means. So we have Maya Takeuchi on the runway. Next in the long jump as we wait for Tamisha Clark's measurement. Meanwhile in the hammer, looks like they're just about ready to go. You can see Jillian Weir still prowling outside the circle. She wants to get there and throw big for sure. And we see the hurdlers warming up on this home straight. They will of course be running down the back straight with the tailwind, but they're just doing their warm up down here. They'll be getting ready for 130 and 140 for the men's and women's respectively.
And there's your daughter.
There she is, young Orla Motley. She'll be out next after Jillian. She's ranked 7th after that first round, but she'll be exceptionally happy with her PB, I'm sure.
So that first track event, 1:30, so around 6 minutes time, the one group web design men's 110-metre hurdles, as Craig mentioned, down that back straight. So plenty to digest, as there always is at the ITM. But the great thing, there's still time if you've got an opportunity. We put on a pretty good broadcast here, of course, but get down the outskirts of Christchurch, just in the southwest at Puna, Weir, if you are in and around. You can get a ticket at the gate and come on and enjoy some fantastic athletes. Here is Jillian Weir.
Oh, she's overbalanced out the front there, so that will be another red flag. Plenty of speed up, but just seemed to lose a bit of balance there. Orla Motley next into the circle.
Lauren Bruce currently out in front in the women's hammer, 68.61. Which is a season's best for Lauren. Here's Orla Motley, PB today. And you'll know this better than anyone, Craig, but is there one specific event that Orla's particularly trying to advance herself? Is it the hammer, or is it she's very much mixing it up early days?
Yes, she throws the hammer and the jav, so was 3rd in New Zealand secondary schools in the hammer and 5th in the javelin. She's focusing on the hammer a little bit at the minute, so she turns 18 later this year, so it's her first year as a 4 kg thrower. So as an under 18 it's 3 kgs, as an under 20 it's 4, so she'll still throw the 3 in secondary schools competition, but the 4 in under 20 in senior competition. So that's her focus through to nationals. She'll be competing in the under 20 grade and in the senior women's against many of these competitors here. So we see Michaela Sola step in, representing Samoa. She won the New Zealand secondary schools in her final year last year down in Timaru, and another one who is relatively new to the 4 kg.
Just tell they're out to the right, and that one was always going to hit the side netting, unfortunately for Michaela.
We see there was Orla's last throw was 42.81.
Too far away from Rana Tafafo Tafili into the bird cage.
Rana, another one representing Samoa and part of Shaka Sola's fantastic throwing squad up in Wellington, Solar Power. So Rana, one of Shaka Sola's squad, we've got 4 of them here, a fantastic group of throwers that he's got organised up in Wellington.
Up towards sort of midpoint between the 50 and 60 metre mark. We are going to send it down to Sarah Kelly-Ross, who's doing a fantastic job as always for us, and she's got Hamish Kerr's coach, James Sandilands.
Come across James Sandilands here in the crowd. He's got a busy day. This is the coach of Hamish Kerr, a finalist at the Halberg Awards this week. And James, you've got a lot of athletes in action today.
Yeah, certainly. I was just watching Maddie do a couple of warm-up hurdles over there as we speak, and she's just come from high jump, and my wife Hannah's long jumping, and it's all go. Yeah, it's a good day.
So talk us through the week. Obviously a big week for Hamish Kerr. How does he, bounce back from that sort of adrenaline that the week has been?
Yeah, it's an interesting comp week, I suppose, having to shoot up to Auckland and see all you guys at the Halbergs, but it was really cool, so it's just something to manage, and we would really enjoy kind of hitting pause and celebrating as a team, and then getting back into comp pretty quickly is interesting, so yeah, no, we're ready to go.
And you yourself, took over the reins from the esteemed Terry Lomax. I'm sure that you've learnt a lot in the last year. When you reflect on the what do you think?
Yeah, it's a lot to reflect on for sure. Been a big 18 months for sure, and then more to come kind of post that and reviewing the year that was. So yeah, it's been really cool and a lot to enjoy and to I suppose dive into with the team. But yeah, I think we're still going to take a little bit of time to kind of process all of that. But that's all we're here for. So it's been fun.
So Hamish today, he's in action later in the program. We cannot wait to see him. Obviously, a lot of people have come out to watch him jump. But he's in early season, I guess, for the year. He's had a 2:19. What are you expecting today from the big guy?
I think if we can build on Cooks nicely as far as what he's been trying to do and technically with his jump, that would be really good. Height-wise, it'd be nice to get into the 220s and mid-220s, just obviously managing some energy and getting going again after a busy off-season. So, yeah, somewhere around that mid-220 would be wonderful.
Well, it's great to catch up with you, James. Back to you guys upstairs. We'll have to let this guy go because he's got a busy schedule ahead and he's just got to finish off his sandwich as well. Back to you, Nick.
Thank you, Sarah. Perfect timing. Right in time for the men's 110-metre hurdles. Craig, just fill us in when you hit some prelims earlier in terms of young athletes being able to qualify for this race.
Yes, we had a number of New Zealanders who they ran a preliminary race, and the top three of them have been taken through and put into here. Max Atwell, Todd Bradshaw in there. Unfortunately, we've had a late scratching from Taylor Willis of Australia, so we'll have a vacant lane in the middle there, but look for the two Japanese in the middle, Tetsuru Nishi and Shuhei Ishikawa, both very, very fast, 13.5 men. The 14-second barrier is sort of the big mark, but a number of our New Zealanders here will be looking to improve their personal bests, and a number of them are multi-eventers as well. And they're away first time, Max Atwell on the outside there, but we have Nishi and Ishikawa in the middle, clearing out. The young Australian Mitchell Lightfoot is running very well as well. This will be a very good performance for him. He might, that's a photo. We're going to have to wait for that. Some great running, and in fourth place we had Lucas de Souza, a Brazilian who's training in Australia, who's come over. But that was very, very close. We'll have to wait for the camera to tell us on that one. And the electronic results looks like Mitchell Lightfoot just got up. Should be a great result for him, young Australian hurdler. He's only 21 years old, turns 22 later this year. First time over to New Zealand as well. He's very excited about it. He looks very happy there. Certainly came up late on them, but it looks like Ishikawa may have got the nod in 13.77. The wind reading is actually minus 1.0, so there's a bit of a crosswind over there, but it looks like it's giving them too much help. And 13.82 for Tetsuru Nishi.
Yeah, unable to split them.
Oh, they're second equal at this stage. They'll be looking at the photo, so same time for Lightfoot and Nishi, both at 13.82. Lucas de Souza coming late at 14.09. Very close to his season's best. Max Atwell just over 16. Kieran Sinclair Lomax 16.66 and Todd Bradshaw 16.97.
So Ishikawa of Japan taking out our first track event, the men's 110-metre hurdles in time of 13.77. But as you called, Craig, very close there, just 500ths of a second separating first and third. Any indication there of the quality and competitiveness that we should see on the track today. Times. Event to be followed by the women's 100 metre hurdles. That's at 20 to 1. But we'll take you back to the hammer.
Damien Wells stepping into the circle there. Australian competitor. He's currently sitting in 6th place. He's thrown over 60 already. His personal best is 61, so he'll be looking to improve on that.
Sounded like it clipped the cage as well.
Looks like he collected a bit of net there.
Most of them left-hand side. Just an update on the women now after the 4th round of the hammer, and Lauren Bruce did record a 66.35, but no improvement on her best so far. That came with a 3rd attempt to 68.61. She sits comfortably in 1st position. Raika Murakami of Japan in 2nd, and Elizabeth Hewitt in 3rd position as things stand with a season's best of 55.58.
Anthony Barnes into the circle, currently in 5th.
So look down.
Good block, he's legitimate in there. That looks a little bit hard to tell on the angle, but that's getting very close to that 70 metre mark.
It's a long jump happening concurrently, and it looks like still a few issues with that runway. You can see the look there on the face of Fee Edwards.
Yeah, Phoebe, she's a New Zealand champion. She'll be looking to get a legal jump in for sure.
So as things stand, of our field of 7, I believe it is, 7 or 8, we've just got the 2 who have recorded successful jumps. Kelsey Berryman, local, the season's best, 5.91. Tamisha Clark across the Tasman in Australia, 5.88. There's 3 Japanese athletes in the women's long jump. Riko Shirato. See the flag there. So back to
Anthony Nobilo, great speed that time round. Lost a little bit of balance in the end, and again we're right out in the high 60s. That previous throw from Anthony Barnes was another 66 for him. He's 2 66s and a 67. He'll be looking for that 70, as will Anthony Nobilo, the top 2 New Zealand's hammer throwers.
Charity today. Rory is our previous ITU winner and also holds the national record for this class.
66.08 for Anthony Nobilo as Ryota Kashimura steps into the circle. Less than a metre between, about 70-80 centimetres between these top 3 competitors. So anything could happen in these last 3 rounds.
Yeah, and only just a little bit north of 2.5 metres between 5th and 1st. So it's super competitive with the 2 Anthonys, Anthony Nobilo, Anthony Barnes. And 3 Japanese competitors.
Kashimura this time, bright yellow.
That one looks pretty good out of the hand. Again, hard to just quite pick up, but here's the 70 metre sign. You can see it's just a little bit shy. Possibly not an improvement on the 68.68 in round 2, but we shall see. We had a 70 metre in this meet at Puna. We're getting pretty close. 69.33 from Tatsuto Nakagawa.
Kashimura out to 67.70. So we'll see Fukuyo Shota.
foul there. Just to see if he did fall out.
Oh, he's got the white flag.
Held the balance. Geez, some gymnastic skills look like required there from Curtis Schulter. So, evenly poised.
Dakota Shota has improved to 69-65 with that one.
Yeah, new leader.
Yeah, he's twice in the 69, so getting very, very close.
To our second track event of the afternoon, it is the women's 100-metre hurdles, brought to you by Insight Management. And over on that back straight side, looking to make the most of that easterly over the shoulder.
And we've got a great lineup in the women's 100 hurdles with returning champion Chisato Kiyoyama of Japan, who ran 13.21 here last year, which was the meet record and the stadium record, and very fractionally off the New Zealand all-comers record.
Maddie Wilson as well, Craig, leading heptathletes. To see her in the mix as well.
Yes, Maddie's also doing the high jump and the shot put as a heptathlete. She's got 3 events on today. We've got Brianna Stevenson, another leading New Zealand heptathlete who was a sprinter jumper and has sort of moved into the heptathlon over the last couple of years and recorded some fantastic performances, and her hurdling's improved every time out. As we see Jillian Weir still looking for a legal throw, stepping into the hammer circle. And she's clipped the cage. And she stepped out. Back to the hurdles, we also have Manaka Shibata of Japan, who actually has a PB of 13.08, and the fastest in the field, Hitomi Nakajima, with a sub 13, which is the real, I guess, the gold standard for international hurdlers. So 4 very good fast Australians, along with Abby Tadeo, who raced here last year, twice the Australian champ. She'll be splitting them in the middle of the track. That'll be where all the action is. But we've got a fantastic field here, and dare I say it, we might see that 12XX.
Yeah, Sarah was very excited about having 3 runners with PBs sub 13 here in the field. That meet record set last year by Chisato Kiyoyama, 13.21. Hopefully we can get a little bit better in this one. Kiyoyama there in the red singlet, number 5. Toyoki 6. Blue. About to take the blocks. Gray, Stevenson, Nakajima, Tadeo, Kiyoyama, Yoki, Shibata, Wilson and Burnham. Women's 100-metre hurdles.
Yes, looking to the middle of the track, Kiyoyama and Nakajima. Way first time, good first clearances.
Looks like Yoki.
Kiyoyama, and we've got Nakajima on the inside as well, but coming through, ooh, another photo.
Look like the three of the 4 Japanese athletes, Nakajima, Yoki, and it might have been Shibata there in lane 7. Those times in a minute, but I believe the Japanese 1, 2, 3.
For those times to come up, but they all looking relatively happy there. 13.04. It was Aoki who came through with Kiyoyama in 13.07. So we've got a meet record. And Nakajima in third, 13.17. Fantastic time. Shibata 13.51 in fourth. But great times for those first three. 13.04 for Masumi Aoki, 13.07 Shisato Kiyoyama, and 13.17 for Hitomi Nakajima with a plus 0.9 tailwind, so pretty perfect for them. And Brianna Stevenson with a 13.51 in fifth. I believe that is a personal best for her. She will be very, very happy with that. Abby Tadeo from Australia in sixth with 13.67. Then Julia Burnham 14.43, and that's another that's a huge personal best. That's half a second for Julia Burnham. She will be stoked with that. Maddie Wilson also with a personal best in eighth, 14.53, and for those for Maddie and for Brianna who are heptathletes, that's big points for them when they go to run the 100 hurdles in a heptathlon. And Holly Gray 15.63 in ninth place.
I believe we had 6 PBs there, which is fantastic in a field of 9. Our podium of Aoki, Kiyoyama and Nakajima all going under that previous meet record.
Yeah, so they'll come up as PRs for the Japanese, but they won't. That'll be PRs on the Athletic Live system. We know their personal bests are just under 13.
Of course.
They'll still be very happy with those times with the added placing points in a bronze will be the equivalent of sub 13, so they'll be very happy with that.
Well, let's go to our winner of the women's 110 metre hurdles, Masumi Aoki. She is with Sarah.
Well, I've got Masumi down here, the winner of the 100 metre hurdles here at the ITM. Masumi, congratulations.
Thank you.
13.04, are you happy?
Very happy. Very, very happy.
This is your first race outdoors for 2025. What is the goal for you for this year?
なんていうの僕東京ワールドアスレティックス Go
Compete.
yeah.
And we have some, a lot of viewers tuning in from Japan today, your home nation. You can speak to them in Japanese and say hello if you want.
日本語でいいかこれからのシーズン全力で頑張ります応援お願いします
Very good. Well, a happy Masumi here at the 100 metre hurdles, the winner of the ITM today. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sarah. As we take a look back at the bird cage, and just heard over the stadium announcer as well. We'll try and get some pictures soon of the para shot put, but Rory Poff, seated shot putter, he's had records here at the previous 2 ITMs, but he's bettered that by a couple of centimetres, 7.71, so that's his outstanding from Rory Poff.
Yeah, that's excellent. Rory loves competing. Rory loves competing here. He's and if he's throwing 7.71, that's a huge movement up in the rankings for him and a 30 centimetre improvement on his own national record.
The women's long jump, the men's and women's hammer. Watching the business end to update you on where things stand in the hammer. Here is Raika Murakami. He's currently in second position, and too happy about that one. It's slipped out of the hand and won't be measured. So we should get a look at Lauren Bruce very shortly, our leader out of South Canterbury, 68.61. There she is, personal best, season's best, excuse me. And she's looking to improve on that again, getting in and around that 70 metre mark, a goal of hers.
Quick update on the long jump. Maya Takeuchi of Japan has gone into the lead with the first 6 metre jump of the competition, 6.07 to take the lead from Kelsey Berriman with 5.82. Just wait Lauren to be called into the circle. Look, she's right there. Looks like she's keen and ready for action.
So this will be Lauren's penultimate attempt. One of these Canterbury athletes that has been so well rewarded by the ITM over the years. So Lauren looking to improve on her best 68.61. It looks like she's just stayed in the circle. And centre of the arc, this will be interesting. Not quite be around that 68.61 mark, sort of between that 60 and 70, but
we see the official out there in the middle too, Ian Beard, Lauren's former coach from South Canterbury, who also coached Tom Walsh much earlier in his career, and he'll be very happy to see Lauren progressing like that.
Great to have these slow motion shots, courtesy of our camera operator Adam out in the field. Really just goes to show the revolutions, the power, the precision required to get everything spot on. These are great pictures.
66.00 for Lauren in that fifth round, not an improvement on her third round of 68.61, but certainly peppering it. And we have Phoebe Edwards, 2 fouls first up. This is her third round attempt in the women's long jump. She can regularly jump over 6 metres, so she'll be looking to get one on the board. Leader at the moment, 6.07. It looked like it was well behind the board, but she'll be happy to get one in, I think. White flag has gone up.
Always must be a relief, especially third time round.
Yeah.
You were mentioning earlier in the broadcast around that pressure and getting something right in the first 3.
Yes, we've only got 8 competitors in the long jump, so they will all get 6 jumps, but of course it's good practice to get a good one in the first 3. Otherwise you end up throwing from the back or not getting through to the next round as Damien Wells steps in to the circle for the men's hammer.
So there's a 5.90 for Phoebe Edwards. That takes her to third, 17 centimetres off the lead.
Damien Wells in 6th. Good speed there. He looks pretty happy with that.
Just staying inside. I could just see out of the corner of my eye there. And around near that 60 metres potentially for Damien. He's got a best of 60.29. Measure that one up. Anthony Barnes up next. His best bang on 67 metres.
Sandilands getting ready in the long jump. She, like Phoebe, is sitting on 2 fouls, so be looking to get a decent jump in. Just goes through her normal pre-jump routine. Again, well over 6 metre jumper at best. Best this season in the high 5s, so she'll be looking to crack that 6 metre barrier as well. And she'll be wanting a good jump to get herself up in the rankings when they rearrange them after the third round. That would look like it was behind the board from our angle. White flag goes up. That's great. That means all of the competitors have got a legal jump in. We don't have the wind readings on the long jump yet, but we'll get those eventually. And it is first across the line.
So Hannah had a 5.57 Horrocks Classics last week, and it's a 5.68, so up to 5th position. And we're not far away. In fact, we are about to see, I believe this will be our first attempt in the women's high jump, another World Athletics Continental Tour bronze status event. And again, a number of Japanese athletes making their way across and down, I should say, to Otatahi Christchurch as we take a look at our starters list. And of apologies earlier for some of our graphics showing the United States of America flag next to our Japanese competitors. I believe that's been corrected now. So you can see our 3 Japanese jumpers and a number of New Zealand competitors as well. And just gets a little bit of the bar, bounces and stays on for Natsumi Aoyama at 1.68 metres. So she is underway. A lot of our other competitors so far have passed on that height. To Anthony Nobilo now in the men's hammer, and quite caught one was, but get a reading in a moment's time. The leader in the men's hammer as things stand. It's been super close between the trio of Japanese athletes. Ryota Kashimura in 3rd position with a 68.68. This is Ryota here. Tatsuto Nakagawa 69.33 and Fukuda Shota 69.95. It's less than a metre separating our podium as things stand. This is the 5th attempt for Kashimura. And again, flirting with that 70-metre line. It's really been consistency too for our international athletes as we cross back to the women's long jump. Kelsey Berryman, our local athletes. And overstep there for Kelsey, who's currently 2nd by virtue of a 5.91 in the first round. There's our men's hammer throw leader, 69.95.
Got a good clearance at 173 in the high jump there as well.
Not to be on that occasion. And those are the fine margins between a successful attempt and an unsuccessful one. But, should step back in for one last crack, and it'll be interesting at that point in time whether he's stepping in as our winner or with a bit to do to claim top spot as things stand. Fukuda Shota 69.65.
See Nakagawa stepping in, looking to take the lead. The high jump, the bar's at 173. First time clearance from Alexandra Harrison of Australia. And now Jess Hendren of New Zealand having a crack. Just tips the bar off. Oh, he gave it a fist pump. He's happy with that one.
Grunt as well. Yeah. Nakagawa. The flag is up. Out wide to the left-hand side. Might be enough. We shall wait and see. 69.33. So it's 69.30, 69.33 for Tatsuto Nakagawa. That measurement in a moment. So we head back to the women's high jump.
68.93 for Nakagawa, so he's peppering that mark.
This is one of our Japanese jumpers, Ayane Morokuma. Unsuccessful there at 1.73. Alexandra Harrison of Australia, our leader as things stand. Go back to the women's hammer. And Orla Motley up. This is the final round. Mentioned earlier, PB for Orla Motley. Lauren Bruce, our leader. So we go back to the women's high jump, and a nice opportunity to welcome a new voice into the commentary caravan this afternoon here at Ngā Puna Wai. Kelly O'Hagan, how are you?
Kia ora. I'm good. Thanks for having me here.
Great to have you here. I must admit, I thought you were going to be out there. I did see you at one point there potentially on the start list, but obviously not.
Yeah, I think my name still is on the start list. There was the possibility that I was going to jump today, but I have decided that this season I'm actually not going to compete. So training's going amazing. I'm not injured. I'm healthy, but I'm just not. I'm just a little bit burnt out from competition, so just taking some time.
Oh, your insights and expertise is going to be of real value here to our listeners and those tuning in on the stream, both here in New Zealand and around the world. What stands out for you of this women's high jump field? Of course, we've got a number of Japanese jumpers coming down and really representing. And Alexandra Harrison as well, an early leader, not to mention some locals you'll know a lot about as well. So it's a really classy field.
Yeah, definitely. And it's always amazing to have internationals, coming and competing on our home soil for us and bumping up our fields and bumping up just the performances in general. It's kind of anyone's game. I think we've got Imogen Skelton with a PB of 187, Maddie Wilson PB of 186, Alexandra Harrison with a PB of 185. I do know Athletic says it's 181, but she should jump 185 coming through. We've just got Maddie Wilson there clear at 173, I believe. She's just run the hurdles as well. She's a busy lady today. But yeah, it's perfect conditions out there, and so I think that it's a good opportunity, for these women to showcase, their performances and their potential.
Is our next competitor up, Natsumi Ayama, cleared at 168, bars at 173.
I definitely do have a bit of FOMO though. On a day like today, one thing that I didn't expect was to kind of be missing the performing side of a competition, not just the actual jumping. So seeing these women out there doing their thing is, while there's a good atmosphere in the crowd, and obviously it's only going to get bigger and better as the day and the events go on. It's an interesting feeling being on the other side.
I can imagine, and it must be exciting too, just being in and around the not only high jump, but the St. Sarah earlier in the start of the broadcast. We had the Halberg Awards earlier in the week. Hamish Kerr recognised, Anna Grimaldi recognised, but James Sandilands was a finalist as well. Just a real boom moment, or it feels like a real momentum behind track and field in this country at the moment.
Definitely, and we've got, we've got James as a coach, Anna Grimaldi and para, as well as Will Steadman, and who was nominated, and who I think was Sophie Aitchison nominated in the
Danielle Aitchison.
Danielle, sorry. Yep. Apologies there. We've just got such good depth as well as the athletes, and the coaching staff, and that's really coming out. Obviously, we've got a gold medal now from the Olympics, which is incredible, and a silver for Medi Rishi. So, I think that the performances are showing just how on fire track and field is in New Zealand at the moment, and having, internationals is just elevating that.
Long jump. Hammer as well. There is Lauren Bruce too, our women's hammer leader. She won't be too far away from her final attempts. We go back to the early rounds of the high jump. We will take this last attempt for Lauren, one of our local athletes who has always made the considered effort to come back to the ITM, and an event for so many has done wonders in terms of those early days competing against international competition, and now Lauren's our very best, and she'll be relatively happy with today. I know Craig was saying earlier she was keen to get around that 70-metre mark, 68.61. She's going to be a winner. irrespective of what happens here, but one last opportunity once she gets the all clear to one final time.
I was actually with Lauren last night for dinner, and she did say that I think she was 10 when she first competed at the ITM. So she's been around a long time, obviously come back as an adult, but I'm pretty sure she said she was 10 years old when she decided to participate as a child in children's athletics.
And, can't put her feet up just yet either after this. She's going to run the women's shot too, which is awesome. Here she is, Lauren Bruce. One final attempt, the women's hammer. Keeps her feet, urging it in the air, and it's hard to see from that shot, but it is going to be measured up. We'll see if that is an improvement on her 68.61, which is a season's best. But we'll get some thoughts, no doubt, from Lauren post-competition. Sarah Carley-Ross down trackside with all our competition reaction, but no doubt Lauren Bruce will be pretty happy. It's hammer down and a shot in hand, not too distant future. And of course, one of our new additions to the ITM program in 2025 is the 60-metre dash. Blink and you'll miss it. And how good, Kelly O'Hagan. We've got Zoe Hobbs down here in Ōtautahi.
Yeah, it's incredible to have athletes, and Ella Connolly as well, who went to the Olympics, so 2 Olympians in this race, and it's pretty impressive. And I do actually know and help coach some of the other young rangatahi women in the event as well, and I can imagine that at the moment they're like, oh my goodness, I get to compete against such a great caliber athlete. So it's just so awesome to see. As you said, with Lauren coming back, the Aotearoa athletes just participating in the local events.
Great crowd, as you can see there on the hill and getting the shade there in the grandstand too, taking in the long jump. And time to introduce our field in the women's 60 metres. So Zoe Hopper out of Selwyn in lane number 1. As Kelly's mentioning, some of our youngsters able to get Hooper, able to get up close and personal with some of their idols. Freya Ferro in 2, Julia Burnham in 3, Kendra Scully in 4. Zoe Hobbs in lane number 5, and Ella Connolly out of Australia in lane number 6. Sienna Wright, Emily Jackson and Tazana Dell rounding out our field in the women's 60 metres. Likes of Zoe and Ella. This is their first event. They'll feature in the 100 metres as well. Building towards Nationals for Zoe and World Indoors too in Nanjing next month. 60 metre event. We'll have the men's 60 metres in a moment too with Tian Welton. But a personal best of 7.06 for Zoe Hobbs and a personal best of 7.15 for Ella Connolly. Lanes 5 and 6. Off to a clean start, and there is Zoe Hobbs out clear of Ella Connolly. Looking powerful and strong.
That is quick.
And await the time, as mentioned, that PB 7.06. Wait for that reading. Zoe Hobbs. Got to be happy with that, no doubt.
7.13. Into a -0.2, so it's pretty much dead calm out there, but 7.13, Ella Connolly 7.32. It's a great run in there. That's a great run by Zoe. Of course, we'll see her and Ella again in the 100 metres as we see the slow motion replay, the power these women are generating. Great start by Zoe. Of course, she'll be looking at running the New Zealand Nationals in a couple of weeks and then going over to World Indoors, where she was so narrowly off a medal last year.
Glad there was a bit there in the tank too, Craig. I must say, it didn't really lean out towards that finish, so that's very encouraging for Zoe Hobbs. Kendra Scully rounding out the podium, 7.61.
It's an excellent time for Kendra too, just 16 or 17 years of age from Waitakaru City, part of Team Green with Nuri Greenhalgh and her squad. So she's had a great run there. Julia Burnham, who I just passed her coach, and she was telling me she ran a half-second personal best in that 100-metre hurdles a wee while ago. So Julia will be absolutely stoked with that. And a great opportunity for some of our younger athletes from the Canterbury region to run against some of their heroes, or heroines as it were.
There is the official times through. Zoe Hobbs, the winner, 7.13 seconds in her first event of the day, and she's been kind enough to stop by for a chat with Sarah.
Winner of the 60 metres here at the ITM, 7:13. Zoe, what do you think of that?
It's the season's best, so I'm happy with that. And the conditions have been pretty gusty. I was actually trying to slow it down on the line. Having just come back from indoors, it was kind of amplified how much I needed to work on my start. I was getting left behind from the first step, so I think we cleaned that up quite a lot and turned things around in the last 2 weeks, so I'm happy.
Well, you've got a busy schedule today. You've got the 100 metres soon. What do you do in between now, between the 60 and the 100?
Keep warm. I'll go have a little bit of a snack. I haven't had a proper lunch, so get some food in me, and then just chill out, do a couple of stride throughs, nothing too intense, just keeping things warm from how we've warmed up for the 60.
Well, awesome to have you here. Good luck for the 100, season's best at the ITM 60 metres for Zoe Hobbs. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Sarah. Zoe Hobbs, understandably pretty happy with that. Not too far away from the men's 60-metre dash as well, featuring Tian Welpton, who just recently over in Canberra set a personal best time and effectively a New Zealand record of 6.50. So I look forward to seeing Tian in the 60 metres in the not too distant future. I ran just slightly behind schedule with those events, so we can take in the final round of the men's hammer, which has been quite a fascinating competition, very close between our three leading Japanese throwers and then the two Anthonys out in New Zealand, Anthony Barnes and Anthony Nobilo, very close neck and neck in fourth and fifth as well. Looks like Anthony Nobilo just edging Anthony Barnes, in fact, for fourth. This is Fukuda Shota, and he is able to step into the circle with the comfort of knowing that, I believe this is the last, and in fact no, Tatsuto Nagakawa is last because he led after round 3. Fukuda Shota, our leader, at 69.65, and just having a check, see if it's an improvement, flirting all day with that 70-metre mark. Already a meet record, which is fantastic to see. But, just catch 6.9, the suspense. Oh, it's a 7. I was waiting to see if it was going to be slightly up for Fukuda Shota. In fact, because it is, 69.65, 69.79, it is an improvement. So not to be at 70, but nonetheless 69.79, so work to do for Nakagawa if he is to win this men's hammer. So we go back to the women's long jump, Hannah Sandilands. A lot of our jumpers early on having to navigate that wind, which has died down a touch, but was wreaking a bit of havoc in terms of getting that runway perfect.
It's definitely picked up just a little bit out there. And for those that are viewing in who have never experienced doing an athletics event before, the wind can sometimes just throw an added element that most athletes would prefer is not there. Sometimes it can assist, in certain winds, and then sometimes it can be a little bit of an inhibitor as well. So you're just constantly adjusting and navigating that.
There we go, Nakagawa. This is the final attempt, and the hand goes up to the head. He knows that won't be enough to beat his countryman Fukuda Shota. It's been a very close and competitive edition of the men's hammer with a new meet record, 69.79. Winner Fukuda Shota, 69.33 runner-up Tatsuto Nakagawa, and then 68.68 In third position, Ryota Kashimura. Our two leading New Zealanders, Anthony Nobilo with a best of 67.60, Anthony Barnes with 67.00. That wraps up our men's hammer. Perfect timing to get over to the track for the men's 60 metres. Runners just getting through their final bits of preparation. Time to run through our field in its entirety. In lane number 1, Xavier Toa-Olami Holden. And the Christchurch boys high, Jordan Veach, one of the old boys club here locally. Noel Ham, another boys high competitor, just 16 years of age. In lane number 3, Kevin Siriak. And for Tian Welpton, a lot of eyes will be on Tian with his blistering time in Canberra, 6.50 over this distance. And 5, Troy Middleton from North Harbour. And 6, Jeremy Habway. And 7, 14-year-old. I'm going to make an educated guess here. We've got brothers with Xavier and Vern Toa-Olami Holden, and Jack O'Neill in lane number 9. I mentioned earlier a new addition to the program here at the International Track Meets at Puna, the 60-metre dash. As Tian Welpton looks to build at this distance towards those World Indoors in Nanjing next month. The New Balance suit there. Tall athlete. Put on the news the other night, a change of coach for Tian, looking to just mix things up, a new Olympic cycle. Very determined not only to be there in LA in 2028, but to compete as well. So we'll take a glance back just to the right of the track to the women's high jump, which is nearing its completion. We'll get you across that. We'll just take this men's 60-metre race live to you by the Mainland Foundation. Tian Welpton, lane number 5, going to be powering through.
Bit difficult to see just at the moment. I imagine it's just a couple of steps and he's gonna be able to be seen. They've just had to restart there, so hopefully a green card will go past and then all athletes will be able to proceed.
Just in the right picture there, green card. Slaps to the thighs there for Tian Welpton, a big exhale through those final bits of preparation to get him in the zone. Lay down a scintillating time. He lines up in the 100 metres later in the program as well. Clean start this time, and there is Tian. Powering through now in lane number 6. We've got Troy Middleton, Kevin Siriak in 4 as well, but it's all Tian Welpton to wait the clock. 6.50 was that PB in Canberra. Colgate smile there for Tian Welpton. He looks relatively happy. 6.78 is the official time. So take a look at the slow-mo replay. And that is into that wind. We should acknowledge as well that will benefit our 100-metre runners a little bit later. Minus 1.8. There's Tian Welpton. We've seen the slow-mo powering his way towards the finish. Big smile on the face. Effectively his home event. And no doubt we'll get some comments from Tian a little bit later. But Kelly, he's already looking at the photos. He looks relatively happy.
Yes, definitely, and I think they've got a, with the video down there, they're actually getting the athletes to sign whilst doing a video. I think it's something that the tennis players were doing, and so they're trying to incorporate that to see. So I've seen a couple of the stars and top athletes doing that at the moment, and they've got a couple of different colours there to align with the summer circuit, but that's Tian Welpton looking pretty nice and chill there, thumbs up there, pretty happy. And it will be interesting to see whether they run the 100 metres in that direction or the other way.
Believe it is back straight, so yeah, they'll have that light zephyr of an easterly that's coming just near our caravan over that way, so it'll be on the shoulder. But there are the times. Tian Welton 6.78, Troy Middleton 7.04, Kevin Syriac is 7.12. Rounding out our top three. Our winner in the men's 60 metres, Tian Welton, he is with Sarah.
Well, I'm here with Tian Welton, winner of the men's 60 metres here at the ITM. Tian, 6.78 today. How did that feel?
Yeah, pretty good. I'm just treating this one as a warm-up for the 100 later. You know, it's a shame we're into a headwind today. Hopefully they'll let us go with the tail for the 100, but great warm-up for the 100. Legs are feeling nice and loose, so good head out, good block, good acceleration, so we go from here.
You do go from here, and you go pretty quickly, actually. Onto the 100 now. What do you do in between the 60 and the 100? I asked Zoe earlier, and I'm interested in what you've got planned.
Try and get some electrolytes in, maybe a banana, maybe a snack. Other than that, just relax for a little bit, go sit in the shade, and then about 40 minutes before, warm-up starts again, and then we get ready to go again. So, yeah.
Well, he's warmed up with the 60. We'll see him later in the 100. We can't wait for that. New Zealand's fastest man on New Zealand soil, Tian Welton. Congratulations. Back to you guys upstairs.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, the 100 metres still to come, 10 past 3 or thereabouts for the women, and 3:15 for the men. Time to take in the women's under 20 mile race. 4 laps. And, Craig Motley steps back in. Kelly O'Hagan steps out to take in a bit more of the women's high jump, which is ongoing, as well as the women's long jump, women's shot put. It's beginning to get underway as well. Plenty happening as always, Craig. But just tell us a little bit about some of our young runners we have here in the women's under 20 mile.
Yeah, a little bit of a crawl down the back straight. No one's really willing to take the pace. Ava Sutherland going to the front there. Kate Curry just behind her. Scarlett Robb in the pink, probably the favourite after a huge personal best of 4 minutes 22 over 1500 in Porritt last week. Bryn Gordon there. Sasha Letica, another talented distance runner. Sienna Mackley at the back. Millie McFadzean. That is and Zara Pomfret of Auckland. So they're pretty much a crawl at the moment. Nobody really wants to take the pace. You often see this in the longer distance national championships, people not willing to act as a pacemaker for the others, but some of them have more of a kick than the others. So Sasha Letica just coming to the front, and Bryn Gordon, who is pretty much noted as a bit of a front runner. Scarlett Robb quickly reacting to get up on them as the pace picks up, and they're through in about 1:20, which is about 5:20 mile pace. Sienna Mackley coming round in third, New Zealand mountain running champion. She's very strong. Kate Curry at the back there has a strong finish. Recently won the under 23,000 metres. So it is a quality field. Bryn Gordon leading, Sasha Letica there in second, Scarlett Robb and Sienna Mackley. So just 1:24 through the first lap. Not as fast as a lot of these ladies have run a sub 5 minute mile. And now Kate Curry, the very tall figure of Kate Curry, who's going to be heading off to Providence in August, just moving through the field a little bit. Bryn Gordon leads from Ava Sutherland, Kate Curry coming around. Millie McFadzean and Scarlett Robb quickly reacting. She doesn't want Kate Curry to get away from her. We all know they're probably the two favourites in the field, Kate Curry and Scarlett Robb, and the pace has notably picked up there. But all still together. Millie McFadzean and Sienna Mackley at the back. Bryn Gordon striding out now in the front, local runner from Port Hills. But Kate Curry, medalist in the New Zealand secondary schools, and then the New Zealand under 23,000 metre champion, has a strong finish. Sasha Letica, also a very good 1500 metre runner. And Scarlett Robb, another medalist from the New Zealand secondary schools, and the pace has definitely picked up now.
Just in and around that 2 minutes 40 time. He's completed that second lap.
So Bryn Gordon leading again. Kate Curry still in there. They've got a tailwind down this back straight. Then they'll run the bend into a slight headwind, and then I would expect with 500 to go, the pace will go on. And Sasha Letica just easing to the front, knowing that she's reasonably well known for going for a long kick from home. Scarlett Robb is covering every move there. She is the favourite, running particularly well there. And she's got Kate Curry sort of boxed there. Zara Pomfret coming on the outside. Ava Sutherland in there, and Sienna Mackley at the back with Millie McFadden just dropping off the pack slightly as the pace increases. They come round now, 500 to go, and this is where the pace will start to go on. Sasha Ledecker going to the front, pushing the pace. Scarlett Robb covering it immediately. Bryn Gordon still on the outside. Oh, and Kate Curry has gone over. She's taken Ava Sutherland out as well. I think clipped with Zara Pomfret there. So we'll see if they get up and start chasing. And Kate is chasing, but is a long way back now. And the pace has gone on. Scarlett Robb to the front. She's opening up a gap very quickly. 4:22. She probably doesn't know that Kate's not coming for her. Zara Pomfret moved into second place. Sasha Ledecker in third. Bryn Gordon in fourth. Kate Curry is coming from a long way back, but she's got a lot of work to do. Sasha Ledecker moves around into second now. Scarlett Robb looking very good with 200 to go. Sasha Ledecker in second. Zara Pomfret in third. Bryn Gordon starting to fade. Sienna Mackley coming back. I think we could have a very good race for third here, but it looks like Scarlett Robb has run away with it with a big move at 300 out. Sasha Ledecker chasing her. Kate Curry is back there. She had that fall. And Sienna Mackley comes off the bend out of Neville Britton's squad in, down south, but Scarlett Robb will win the national under-20 mile title, and she's gone sub-5 after that slow start, so that's a very, very big finish. She's just dipping under 5 minutes there. Sasha Ledecker in second. Sienna Mackley comes through for third. Bryn Gordon for fourth over Zara Pomfret, and there's Kate Curry, who unfortunately had that fall at the bell, coming through in sixth place, just over 5 minutes, and she will not be happy. Ava Sutherland and Millie McFadden round off the field. Meanwhile, back in the high jump, we are up to 1.84 metre. Alex Harrison and Imogen Skelton both missing their first round attempts, and about to have their second attempt. Oh, and a very, very narrow miss from Alex Harrison there. So 3 ladies over 181 in the high jump. Maddie Wilson is leading with 3 clearances, but is of course doing the shot put at the same time. So is moving between her high jump spikes and her shot put shoes.
I see Lauren Bruce is over there about 15 minutes on from winning the hammer, and she's got shot in hand as well, so it's all happening.
Yes, Lauren is well known. She likes a little...
Well, I have the winner of the under-20 mile here at the ITM and new national champion over this distance, Scarlett Robb, 4:55 today. You must be happy with another national title.
Yeah, I'm super happy. Maybe not the time I wanted, but really happy to come out with a win.
And Scarlett, you had an incredible 1,500 metres at the Sir Graham Douglas. Talk us through that run as well.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to stick with the pace, see how fast I could do, and yeah, I'm super happy with my time. I wasn't expecting that at all, so.
Well, we'll go now to the men's mile, but the winner of the under-20 women's national championships, Scarlett Robb, congratulations.
James Weber leading this mile, just a relatively cruisy pace, similar to the under-20 woman. Just no one really keen to take it out too fast. James McClay, the New Zealand under-20 World Championship finalist, sitting there in second place. George Wiley from Tauranga out of Craig Kirkwood's group sitting there in third. And as they come around, James Weber still leads, James McClay, George Wiley there in forward, Jacob Ritter, a young, more known as an 800 metre runner. The slow pace will be suiting him, so he'll be able to kick home fairly strongly. And the bunch all still pretty much together. Pace is just increasing a little bit now. Jacob Ritter moves up into third place. James Weber still leading, New Zealand Secondary Schools medalist last year, talented young man. Again, out of the Neville Britton coaching school, who his training partner, Sina Mackley, finished third in the mile, and Neville always has his runners up for the mile. So I don't think he's got quite as strong a finish as some of these guys, so he'll be wanting to stretch it out a bit. James McClay's covering that very easily. George Wiley, of course, ran a 3:46 1500 metres in Porritt last weekend, so he is in great shape. He'll be ready for a strong finish as well. Jacob Ritter there. And then we've got looks like Nick Dobby and Harry Witt, a local young man, more known as a 3,000, 5,000 metre runner on the back there. So they come around, and this will be where it gets interesting. 500 metres out, this is where the pace is going to go on. They're sort of building up. Weber still leads. And we switch to the high jump.
Skelton just clipping the bar there. 184. Back to that men's under 20 mile race, about to hear the bell.
Held the bell, and I think it's all going to break loose here. James McClay has a strong finish, so does Jacob Ritter, so does George Wiley. As they reach the bell, still not in a fast time. Some of these young men have run in the low fours, and I think from 300 out, the paces are really going to let rip. James Weber still leading, James McClay ready to pounce. George Wiley's a little bit boxed there. Jacob Ritter, like I said, better known as an 800 metre runner, but he certainly has a strong finish. They're all waiting as they come down, 250 to go. George Wiley gets a little gap on the inside, but he's boxed, and McClay goes around the outside, and that will be his big move. Wiley going with him, leading into the wind. Still not at full noise. There's a little bit of wind around that straight, looking for the pace to go on. You can see them just working into the wind a little bit, and now James McClay goes 120 out. He's gone. Wiley's gone with him. That's between the two of them. James McClay, the New Zealand Secondary Schools champion. George Wiley, third in that same race. And it's going to be close. Looks like McClay's going to hold on. George Wiley second. Third, couldn't quite see who that was. Who came across. James Weber in fourth. Wow, very fast last 150 metres. And a narrow win to James McClay, the New Zealand Secondary Schools 1500 metre champion and World Under-20 finalist last year.
4:18.45 is the time that's just come through for James McClay.
And in the high jump, Maddie Wilson on her third attempt has cleared 184 to take out the competition. Alex Harrison and Imogen Skelton both missing at their third attempt, as we see Lauren Bruce in the shot put. But Maddie Wilson over 184 as she's switching between the high jump and the shot put.
Some great pictures here in the slow-mo replay. Maddie Wilson at 184.
This was her third attempt at the height. Focus on the bar and up, and she's cleared that relatively comfortably, and she'll be pretty happy with that, I think. Her personal best is 186, so she's very close to it. She's already run a big 100 hurdles personal best today. She's throwing in the shot put at the same time as the high jump, but I think she'll probably want to go for 187 and have a go at a personal best here. And as a heptathlete, of course, every centimetre gives her more points in her total score. That's what she'll be looking to do. And so we have the men's C 800 metres warming up on the track.
Maddie Wilson, of course, I believe, Craig, if I'm not mistaken, that 186 was here a couple of years ago to win the women's high jump, her PB, so she'll get another crack. Home comforts Here is Maddie Wilson. She's going to win the women's high jump competition, but it's just a matter now of, well, how much. In fact, she's going to have a little rest for the time being, laying prone there in a bit of shade. But sure she'll be thinking about the next attempt coming up.
Yeah, she gets a few minutes rest when there's only one competitor, and we see the bar has gone up to 187, which will be a personal best for her and worth valuable points in the hip tackle.
So taking those times from the earlier race, the women's 1 miler, won by Scarlett Robb, 4:55.96. Under 20 national champion now.
That's a great jump by Maddie, though. I think she's had a pretty big day here. And Michaela Solar of Samoa, as the men's C 800 metres is underway. We have Alex Kelleher of Christchurch Avon pacing this. Now, this group of young and old men, we have some talented youngsters looking to go under 2 minutes for the first time, and a couple of masters looking to run under 2 minutes. And Alex Kelleher will take them through in about 58 seconds.
There's the women's shot put competition. Just as things stand, our leader is Natalia Rankin-Chittar, 13.34. Lauren Bruce there, having won the women's hammer. She's about to step up. Here is Maddie Wilson, though. PB attempts.
Not quite, just hitting that one on the way up that time. She's been very busy, and now we see Lauren Bruce in the shot put, currently in second place.
13.27 with her second attempt for Lauren. And I'll measure that one up. It's Natalia Rankin-Chittar is our leader. She's got a PB 15.96. Taking the final lap, I believe, of this men's C 800 metre race.
We've got about 120 to go. These men all looking to go under 2 minutes. We have the veteran Craig Oliver, Leo De Monchi there. .151, they're still going for it. Cooper Rule back there. Leo De Monchi, this is going to be his first time under 2, and Josh Cameron looks like he's going to fall. I think they've all gone under that 2 minute mark. Very, very close. So Josh Cameron, Leon De Monchi, Craig Oliver, a master, a junior, and a new senior. Let's wait to see what those times are.
159.60. Leo De Monchi just under, and same too for Josh Cameron and Craig Oliver, all getting under that 2 minute, sub 2 minutes.
And Cooper Rule in fourth has a personal best, 2:01. Corbin Straker in fifth, also a personal best, so those 5 gentlemen will be extremely happy with that. First time under 2 for Leo and Josh, and Craig Oliver, one of our Masters competitors, is back under 2 for the first time since he was a much younger man. But Leo De Monchi will be very happy with that.
It's quite a good shot there in the end with the shot put, and Maddie Wilson ready to go. Attempt number 2 for a personal best. Already our champion in the ITM women's high jump. Looking now to clear the bar, which is set at 1.87. Has a personal best of 1.86. Incoming athletes. Maddie Wilson.
Oh, very close.
The headset gets passed on to Kelly O'Hagan, and you might be able to just jumped out of the caravan, Kelly, in terms of watching this women's high jump competition. What have you seen from how Maddie's going? And do you think third time lucky maybe at 187? She's got it in the bag potentially.
Maddie's definitely capable of it. You know, her 84 was a really clean attempt. I didn't actually see that attempt. I was walking back into the caravan, so I just missed it. But you know, the first one, it looked like she was just a little bit hesitant. She wasn't running as fast as she kind of normally does, but for that attempt I can't quite say I just saw the end of it, but you know, it's so within her realm, and as seen in the 84, such a good attempt, and she's been eyeing this one up now with a PB of 186, and I think in Capital Classic she tried to give it a good crack too, so you know, it will definitely drop soon. We've got Lauren Bruce there in the shot put, having just finished up the hammer.
I believe this is her 6th and final attempt for Lauren. Best of 13.27. We'll await Maddie Wilson's final attempt in the women's high jump as well. Yeah, happening in and around Puna with the women's 800 metre B. Not catch, come around the bend there as well. As the white flag goes up for Lauren. Looks like that wind might have picked up just a touch as well, which, depending on the event, will be favouring or causing a bit of disruption. Looks like our winner in the women's shot will be that lady there, Natalia Rankin-Chitar. See if she can get close to season's best. But let's go back to the women's high jump now. Kelly O'Hagan here in the commentary caravan. Maddie Wilson, 3rd and final attempt at 187.
I'm a bit nervous for her. I always get nervous when my friends are jumping well. And so it's great to see, and you know, she'll just be eyeing that up and hopefully taking in what her coach James has, you know, told her to work on.
She's going to let these 800 metre runners just go past her. Just to be full concentration phase that she can be. She certainly tell, visualising it before she hope it manifests.
She's about to head underway. And not to be today. She did kind of go into the bar a little bit there, and she'll be a little bit disappointed, but also happy, you know, that she's jumped 84 again. Her jumps this season have definitely taken a step up consistently, and so I know no doubt she'll be happy and hungry for the next one. Just pass you back to Craig.
It's the conclusion of the women's 800 is 800B race, which is Craig takes back the commentary.
Ariana Candy coming down. This is going to be her season's best. She's coming back. Very good, talented junior, and has had a couple of years off having children. And so Amelia Henstock, who we'll see later on, who's coming out to pace the A race. Liberty Reek McIntyre in there. Personal bests in there. There were, in the men's 800, we saw 6 personal bests in that C race. So great conditions. And obviously the crowd is getting behind them, and we're getting some good times coming through.
Yeah, just under that 2:15 mark for Ariana Candy, 2:14.90.
And Natalia Rankin-Chitar in her last round, 14:34, her best of the competition, and she is the winner of the women's shot put. Ariana Candy there shaking hands with the other competitors. She'll be very pleased with that run. She ran a 2:18 or 2:17.
So we take it back to the long jump pit, and our men's competitors getting underway. Can tell you the women's winner out of Australia is Tamisha Clark with a best there of 6.21 with her final attempt, and she's standing by with Sarah.
I've got the winner of the women's long jump here at the ITM today, Tamisha Clark. You came through in the last round, you were in 5th, and then you catapulted up to 1st. That must feel great.
It feels amazing. The clutch jump really pulled through. I didn't think I had it in me, but I'm really happy I did.
6:21 today. Now you've come over here from Sydney, which is great, but you've also got your mum with you and your coaching team. How does that work out with your mum coaching you?
I love my mum as my coach. She knows me better than anyone else does, and she backs me more than anyone I know in my life.
And she gave you some good advice leading into that 6th round. What was it?
She wanted to put a rocket up my ass. She said, I'm not going to repeat what she said because it was a bit inappropriate, but she hurt me a little bit, but it worked.
Mum's no best, eh? So you got your dad watching. What's next for you for this athletics season?
I'm heading to Perth next week for the track classic. I'm really excited for that. I love Perth. And I think I go back to Perth for the Nationals a couple of weeks after.
Well, it's wonderful to have you in Christchurch for the international track meet. We hope to see you again, but congratulations on the win today in the women's long jump.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Back to you, Nick.
Thank you, Sarah. And the men's discus is just getting underway as well. Just tipped over 20-3. Of course, this is men's triple jump, not long jump, after the women's long jump there. And
Valerie Olivier on the runway. Unfortunately, he's overstepped. I think he knew it with the landing. Just stepped over slightly, got the red flag very early. Of course, the older brother of Ethan Olivier. Ethan, unfortunately, had to scratch with a slight hamstring injury, but Ethan is also jumping very well. See him in the... See Jared Neighbours there in the discus. Around the 40-metre mark. Looks like they might not measuring, so they're still just warming up out at the men's discus. And so we might see if we can switch back to the men's B 800 metres, which is just underway after the second time of starting.
Just before we get to the men's 800, let's send it back down to Sarah. She's a busy lady, and now she's got our women's hammer throw winner and I believe shot put runner-up, Lauren Bruce.
Well, I've got Lauren Bruce here. She's had a busy afternoon competing in the women's hammer, which she won in 68 metres plus, and she's just finished the shot put. Lauren, a busy afternoon, but a great season best in the hammer.
Yeah, it was nice to be able to come back over to Christchurch and throw well in the hammer. Obviously would have liked a little bit more. I thought I could have touched 70, but yeah, pretty happy with 68. We're still in relatively heavy. So we'll freshen up a little bit over the next couple of weeks for nationals, and then a couple of comps end of March.
Now, we were just chatting before we went live, but I said, Lauren Bruce, two-time Olympian. And we both had a little chuckle, but how does that feel? 2 Olympics down and, maybe lots more to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably something that I'm going to appreciate more after I'm finished my career, and I think I should appreciate it now. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I think I had a pretty rapid rise over the last few years, and then have kind of just been quite going along, but I know that we can get back up to where we were in 2020, 2021, so yeah, looking forward to the next cycle.
Well, it's great to have you back here in Canterbury. I know you've got lots of family and friends out here watching from your now Melbourne base, but winner of the women's hammer and also second in the shot put, Lauren Bruce.
And they come into the home straight. Luke Mitchell from Christchurch Avon leading there. Pie Wynyard finishing strong though. All these gentlemen looking to run well under 2 minutes. They've all got personal bests in the 157 range. It looks like they're going to do that. Pie Wynyard coming through for the run. Luke Mitchell in the second. Matt Bolter from Otago coming through, and there is going to be a range of personal bests there. Some great running by all of them. That was the men's B race in the 800 metres, and we'll have their results up shortly, but I think we'll see another raft of PRs. Personal best to Pie Wynyard, 156. Luke Mitchell, who was only pushed up into the B race after a great run in the Canterbury Champs last weekend, has run another couple of seconds personal best, 156 high. Jake Owen from Hill City with a personal best in third, 157.40. Matthew Bolter, 157.49. Noah Fenwick, another personal best, 157.91, or rather a season's best. Oliver Young, 157.95. Alexander McCorkindale, season's best of 158.
So that is the men's 800B race. The A race coming a little bit later on at 3:35. So plenty more middle distance running to come. But let's send it back down to Sarah. It's all happening an hour near the caravan is with the shot put, the high jump. And speaking of high jump, it is our women's winner standing by, Maddie Wilson with Sarah.
I've got Maddie Wilson here, winner of the women's high jump today. Now, it's always a great day when the heptathletes touch up the high jumpers. 184, Maddie, you must feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, pretty stoked, and to be attempting a PB for the second time this season. Pretty happy about that one.
You have had a busy day. You were in action in the hurdles, and you got the 200 later on. What do you do now between the high jump and the 200?
Well, I think I've probably got time for a little bit of a lie down and then just do a little bit of warm up before the 200. So, yeah.
How were the hurdles?
Yeah, good. I was happy with them. I don't actually know the time though. I haven't had time to check, so I can't tell you.
Now, this is pretty much a day one of a heptathlon. You unfortunately didn't make the shot because you were too busy, but when is your next heptathlon?
It will be at the NZ Combined Events Champs on the 22nd of March in Auckland.
Game on. Winner of the women's high jump today, Maddie Wilson. She's off to have a chill time before the 200, but back to you upstairs, Nick.
Thank you, Sarah. As we take in a lovely wide shot there, you can see the Port Hills just in the left corner. It is a beautiful day. It was beautiful weather here in Ōtautahi, Christchurch. As we take a look at the women's high jump full breakdown, Maddie Wilson there, 1.84. I was just confused as to what Craig was identifying there, but as it says in progress, it's all wrapped up, as you should be aware after that interview with Maddie Wilson. But 1.84.
She jumped 86. She jumped 86. I think that was halfway through that they got.
Was it?
Oh, she jumped 184.
I think she jumped 184 and was trying 187.
Trying 187, that's right. Yeah, sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, okay. There's a lot to unpack. Great to see some crowd shots there on the hill, as well as in the grandstand taking some shade. There is the wide shot there of the men's discus, which is just getting underway, and the men's triple jump as well. I might just run through what we where we're at in the men's triple. There we go. We've got Teta Anang out of Australia, who was just competing at the Sir Graham Douglas International a couple of weeks ago. Finished runner-up there. He is out in front early with his third attempt, 16.05. And Connor Murphy and Shemaya James, a couple of jumpers out of Australia in second and third position. Near in the midpoint of the men's triple jump, brought to you by News Talk ZB, and the men's discus. These are first attempts competition.
Early leader there, Tom Roux, the French Olympian, out to 58.61 in the first round, and he leads from Otago's favourite son, Kieran Fowler, 54.75, which is a personal best for him. And the young man of Otago Athletics, he was hoping for a 55 today, he told me, and he'll be very, very pleased with a 54 first round. His previous personal best, 51 metres, has been throwing well in training. He's narrowly ahead of the young Australian Etienne Rousseau, 54 metres 64. As we see Valerie Olivier, 2 fouls. This one looks like he's on the board. We'll wait for the flag. He's got a little bit of a fist pump. He's a bit happier with that white flag there, and we'll see where he moves through to in the triple jump. Very close competition there with the top 3 Australians and Valerie. Connor Murphy soon to jump, who was at the Olympics last year for Australia, and the son of famous Australian triple jumper Andrew Murphy, who also coaches him.
.86 for Valerie, so immediately into 4th position.
And only a 20 centimetre spread between first and 4th there, so a very close competition after 3 rounds. Of course, they'll reverse the order once all jumpers have had their 3rd round. And like what we saw in the hammer, it's going to be a very close competition, which will hopefully push the athletes to good distances. Yuto Adachi on the runway now, getting a bit of a clap going, getting the crowd behind him. Proved from his first round of 15.14 to 15.57. He is a 16-metre jumper, so he'll be wanting to get right out there. Yes, he's waiting. He's waiting for the white flag. And that is Kieran Fowler. Not happy with that one. He stepped out the front. So it might have been Tom Roux. Can't quite see from this angle. No, Kieran Fowler it was. A foul on his 2nd attempt. And Yuto Adachi, 16.02, has moved into 2nd place with that jump. He'll be very happy with that. A bit of a balancing act there by Hector O'Rourke, promising young junior hammer thrower. Still a junior, but throwing the 2 kg weight in this competition. So there we see our field of 9 in the discus. The class of the field, of course, Tom Roux from France. Was at the Olympics last year. Very, very good thrower who's thrown well into the 60-metre distance, and that's what he'll be looking for today. And now we have Nathaniel Salupo for Samoa. Stepping in, another one of Shaka Solar's group, Solar Power out of Wellington. Big supporter of our meet. And Nathaniel has been here a couple of times, a very, very good discus thrower. Good block there at the front, he watches it land. Steps out and gets the white flag. Looks like to be out over 50 metres. He opened up with a 53.32 personal best in the first round. That one might not be quite as far, but really good start, and it's great conditions with the slight easterly for right-handed throwers. It helps keep the discus up a little bit into the wind, so they're loving the conditions here.
This is Tom Roux now, the Frenchman, our current leader at 58.61.
Plenty of height on that one, might be a fraction too high. They like to cut it through, and he stepped out the front and given the red flag. And we didn't see Etienne Rousseau's second round throw, but he has moved into second with a 56.42. It's a great throw for him coming through.
Japanese athlete who fouled in the first round, Yuji Tsutsumi.
59-metre personal best. He'll be looking to crack that 60-metre barrier. It's one of those barriers that in the discus the athletes like to get. They need to be thrown up in the mid-60s for Olympics, but once they're over 60 they're within range. And good balancing act there. He stayed in, and he must have touched the front of the circle. The red flag's gone up fairly quickly.
Coming up 5-3 here in Otatahi, Christchurch. Still a lot to get through. Those Hamish Kerr fans out there. Men's high jump beginning at 3:20. And Tom Walsh, great to see him continually support this event. And men's shot put 3:45. Men's shot underway.
And we can tell you that Connor Murphy has moved into the lead in the triple jump with a 16.10 on his third attempt. That's Angus Liver, New Zealand decathlete. He's doing 3 events today. He's a throw on the discus.
I'll just take this opportunity to send it back down to Sarah, getting a bit of atmosphere and vibe out there among our audience. Unfortunately, just a slight audio issue with Sarah, but we will get back to her in a short moment. Great to see some young tamariki taking the opportunity not only to come down here, but get a sign sorted as well. We'll send it back to Sarah now. Take 2.
Okay. Well, it's an amazing embankment here and in the stands at the ITM, and I've found some Hamish Kerr super fans actually. I spotted this incredible sign that Eloise, Jason and Sophie have made, but they've actually got something to give to Hamish after his jump. So Sophie, tell us about this.
It's a personal medal that we made for Hamish Kerr.
Are you going to give it to him after his competition?
Yeah.
That's so cool. And why do you like Hamish Kerr, Jason? I'll come in here.
Because I want to follow in his footsteps, and he's the best high jumper ever.
That's so cool. Now, Eloise, you've made this sign. How long did it take to make? Because look at it, it's amazing.
It only took 2 days to make.
There you go. Well, it's great to see so many youngsters out here enjoying the athletics. And what are we going to say to Hamish?
Go Hamish!
Oh, you can do better than that. Come on.
Go Hamish!
There you go, Nick.
Thank you, Sarah. Apologies, I set up a mouthful of harvest snaps as you were bringing us that interview. We are at the men's triple jump. Of course, we've got the 100 metres still to come. Zoe Hobbs, Tian Welpton already in action earlier this afternoon, winning their respective races in the 60-metre dash. Looking forward to bringing you both of those races. Should be over on the back straight that easterly, hopefully down under that legal wind limit.
And that's a great jump from Ryan Young out of aspiring, talented young triple jumper, but he's jumping off the 13-metre board for the first time, and he's successfully hitting the pit. It's a bit daunting when you're only just making it in by a metre. And spinning out the front there in the discus. That was Hector O'Rourke from the St Paul's Harrier Club down in Southland.
Throw a blanket over them in the men's triple jump at the midpoint. Connor Murphy 16.10 in front. His countryman Teta Anang by just 5 centimetres, 16.05. We've got 3 over 16 with Yuta Adachi 16.02. Fantastic competition in the men's triple jump so far. Right, Weir as well, 15.86 in 5th position, so not far away. What is that? 25 centimetres separating 1st and 5th position. As we see Nathaniel Salupo in men's discus, best of 53.32, and I'll make an educated assumption that that could be an improvement. White flag goes up. Wait to see if it is. We acknowledgement to the crowd here. Daniel Salupo currently in 4th position, at best of 53.32. Tom Rue 58.61. Etienne Rousseau in 2nd position, 56.42. Back to the triple jump. And here is Weir, 15.86, getting the crowd involved. There he goes down the runway, looking to improve on 15.86. Good speed, and I think body language suggests there might not be quite what he was after. Shake of the head, yep, as he walks back past the sandpit. We'll measure it up. Work to do for Weir. And what is a very competitive men's triple jump competition. In fact, it is an improvement by 6 centimetres. So he jumps ahead of Shemaya James of Australia into 4th position, 15.92. And 18 centimetres off our leader, Connor Murphy.
It is a very, very close competition. And now Shemaya James getting the crowd going. He's jumped well over 16 as well, and each of his jumps has improved a little bit. So let's see how Shemaya goes. Powering down the runway, big long step, getting himself into the pit. Relatively happy, not too much pumping of joy.
Right. Yes. Yes. How long until the 100 starts, do you think?
It's just come through there, 15.84. So it's 3 centimetres off Shemaya's best, but he'll remain in that 5th position after his 4th attempt. Back to the discus.
Angus Liver there. Oh, he's got a little bit too much grip on it. Didn't quite fly as well as he probably would have liked out of his hand. They're away in the C100. Emily Jackson there in the middle. Rebecca Peterson driving through Sarah James. Rebecca Peterson looks like she's just going to hold out Emily Jackson for the win. And Sarah James, one of our para athletes, will come through on the inside there as well. Great work by her.
Rebecca Peterson taking that out in a time of 12.72.
The times coming through in that C100, almost dead calm, a minus 0.4 metres per second wind reading. Rebecca Peterson with a 12.72, Emily Jackson with a personal best 12.79 seconds. Zoe Hooper, talented young sprinter from the Selwyn Athletic Club, in third with 13.26. Ruby Mahuika from South Canterbury 13.48, from Freya Fero 13.55. Tazana Dell 13.86, and Scarlett Jordan from Christchurch Old Boys 13.86. Sarah James, our wheelchair athlete from New Brighton Olympic, 20.19 seconds in that women's 100 metres.
This is the B race about to begin. The A race for the women at around about 10 past 3. Still got the men's B 100 to fit in there as well. It's, too far away from seeing Zoe Hobbs and Tian Welpton over 100 metres.
Of course, in this one we do have Anna Grimaldi, our Paralympian gold medalist, winner at the Hellbergs of the Paralympian of the Year, just midweek, and she is in great form. Looking for her to run very, very fast. She had a great 100, I think you saw last week up at Sir Graham Douglas.
Sir Graham Douglas, indeed, yeah, she was in very good form, and it's been quite the fortnight for her, as you mentioned, winning that Para Athlete of the Year from one of Canterbury's finest. Dame Sophie Pascoe was there to present that award to her, and really stole the show in many ways up on the podium, speaking about how the Paralympic movement changed the course of her life, and great to see Para Athlete of the Year for 2024 here at the ITM in 2025.
And next to her we have Jordan Blake, who is in the A200, very, very fine Canterbury sprinter in the past, but she's now moved up to Auckland training with James Mortimer's squad. Lily Dunn is an exceptionally talented young sprinter from Papanui Tokach on the outside of Jordan. Hannah Sandilands, fresh from the long jumps. You can see her going through her dance routine. Michaela Fiti on the outside of her. And further through on the inside we have Sienna Wright from South Canterbury and Phoebe Laker from the Aspiring Club. Exceptionally talented 400 metre runner. Just doing the shorter distances today. She's in the 1 and the 2, but she won the New Zealand Secondary Schools under 16 400 recently. But we just look for the action in the middle. Jordan Blake and Anna Grimaldi are the two fastest in this race. Way first time. Jordan Blake off to a great start. She's driving through. She's going to win this very easily. Jordan Blake, fantastic run. Lily Dunn coming late. Sienna right there. Phoebe Laker as well. Photo finish for third. We'll wait on the times there, but Jordan Blake has run away with that one. That's a great run.
Of course, into that wind as well, Craig. At minus 2.2 coming through on the reading. Take a look at the slow-mo vision. As you mentioned, the power there of Jordan Blake, who will be in our 200 metres event to conclude the track program, taking it out 12.32. Lily Dunn, Papanui Tokach, 12.70. Just through, so he might have picked up third position. Really close there. Grimaldi singing in fifth, and those times to come through as well. As This will be our men's B 100 metres. Just a quick update, glance over to the triple jump as well, just to see where things are at, and to enter the fourth round. In the middle of the fourth round, excuse me, Valde Olivier 15.24, so still his best 15.92. Connor Murphy, our leader, at 16.10. And speaking of Paralympians, one of our local favourites here in Canterbury, Will Steadman, lining up in this men's 100 metre B race. They had a fantastic Paralympic campaign in Paris.
Nathaniel Salupo there in the discus. Good balancing act to stay in. Certainly getting plenty of power there. White flag, so we'll see what his distance is shortly.
Men's discus, Yuji Tsutsumi currently out in front. He's taken the lead from Tom Roux of France with a 61.76. There's the women's 100 metre B race times.
Jordan Blake winning quite easily in the end, 12.32, and you can see that photo, Phoebe Laker, Neve Townsend, Lily Dunn, all within 5/100ths of a second.
So the 100 metre open B race, we've got Will Steadman, far side of your screen, in the inside lane number 2. Port Hills Athletics Club. Edmund Farrow, Alex Walker, Harry Williamson, Kevin Siriak, Joe Berman, Noel Ham and Jack O'Neill.
Look for the action again in the middle there. Harry Williamson, Kevin Siriak, Joe Berman. Kevin Siriak out to a good start. He looks like he's taking the lead. Harry Williamson with him. Joe Berman coming through for third. And Kevin Siriak wins from Harry, and Joe Berman, I think, held on to third. Someone came through on the inside there. Might have been Alex Walker from Hill City. So a good win to Kevin Siriak there from Harry Williamson. Joe Berman, another one of Neri Greenhill's Green Machine out of Waitakere. And they'll be looking for their good times to come through.
There's the slow-mo vision, 11.04. Kevin Siriak stops the clock to win our men's 100B race. Looks like that wind is swirling around down to a plus 0.3. So the men's 100 metre B competitors making the most of that. There are the times there of the men's 100 metre B race. And Kevin Siriak, 11.04. Another change in the commentary, bringing you a new voice here. And Georgia Hulls is into the caravan. Welcome. Apologies, I better turn your microphone on to begin with, but how are you enjoying the action so far?
Yeah, really cool. It's one of my favourite meets to run at, so I'm imagining it will also be my favourite meets to commentate at.
I think it was 2023, forgive me if I'm wrong, it was you and Rosie down in the 200. That was certainly must be one up there with one of your highlights of your sprinting career.
Yeah, it really is, and I feel like I'll always come back and kind of chase that and hopefully push it further. Hi Rosie, if you're listening.
Well, look, perfect timing for you to step into the caravan, because we've got the women's 100 metre A race about to begin, and you'll know a lot more about these athletes than I do. Of course, a lot of our viewers there will be interested to see how Zoe Hobbs gets on after winning that women's 60 metre race a little bit earlier in her program. But I think, as Craig was mentioning earlier, she won't have it all her own way. Ella Connolly coming over in really good form as well.
Yeah, I'd say Ella, and from Singapore, Shanti as well. I'd say that's where, aside from Zoe, you'll keep your eyes on. Honestly, it's a pretty stacked field. I think sprinting's looking so deep, especially around here and in the women's side. So I think it's going to be a really exciting race. And perhaps maybe, we'll have a bit of a spicy ending or something.
Let's hope so. And certainly we saw, it looked like there was a bit left in the tank too from Zoe Hobbs after that 60 metre win earlier in our program. So she's in lane number 6. Samantha Lathwood, Sophia Figuera Arisa Kimishima, Ella Connolly, Zoe Hobbs, Shanti Pereira and Brooke Summerfield, our women's 100 metre A race. And they're off to a clean start. Hobbs always starts strong in lane number 6, gets the jump over Connolly. Kimishima there in 4, but Zoe Hobbs, look at this. Out, and that is a blistering time, certainly sub 12. We'll have a look to see, is that a new season's best potentially for Zoe? And another comfortable win. And she means business, building towards the World Indoors in Nanjing next month. Of course, the National Championships down in Dunedin early March as well. 11.23, stopping the clock.
And I think if we look at the end there, Shanti was coming back. She's more known as a 200 metre runner. And you'll see she was just 0.01 off Ella. She's in the Nike kit next to Ella in the red. So I think it's a pretty good finish all across.
Yeah, very even finish between second to fifth. Hobbs, the time is 11.23. That wind certainly swirling around as we await to see the official wind reading. But Ella Connolly, second, 11.67. Shanti Pereira, 11.68. And Arisa Kimishima, 11.79. As you see those times, Brooke Summerfield very close there too, 11.80. But your observations there, Georgia, it was pretty convincing in the end for Zoe. She'll be pretty happy.
Yeah, I'd say she'd be pretty happy. I think if we look as well, it was a 0.8 headwind. So obviously not the biggest headwind in the world, but that would definitely have affected things and when they're getting up and running. I think apart from that, the conditions are pretty perfect. I think she'd be pretty happy with that. There's obviously a lot more in the tank, and I think we're going to see a lot more from Zoe throughout the season. But it's always nice to open up domestically and get the legs moving. And I'd say 11.2 with a 0.8 is a pretty handy time.
I'll take your word for it, indeed. Yeah, she's been over in Boston, of course, now back here in New Zealand, first domestic meet of the summer. So just great to see Zoe Hobbs after the year she had last year, getting to the Olympics and being back, and of course now part of a new Olympic cycle, but at the ITM in front of what's a fantastic crowd. It is great to see. We won't be too far away from the men's 100 metre race as well, which features Tian Welpton, looking again after his performance at the Sir Graham Douglas International a couple of weeks ago. 10.10 was his time there, a new personal best, second quickest all time by New Zealand male. So taking the men's discus and men's triple jump, which are going around in and around Puna as well. The men's triple jump nearing, this might be the penultimate round, I believe. Very close competition with Connor Murphy, the Australian, out in front, 16.10 over Teta Anang, 16.05. But back to the track, the men's 100 metres. There's the field. Troy Middleton, Tommy Tapuni, Naoki Inui, Tian Welpton in lane number 5, Yuhi Mori in 6, Jackson Rogers, Hunter Scott did the triple at New Zealand secondary schools last year. Great to see him in this field in lane number 8, and Sebastian Ferro in 9. Clean start. Welpton in 5, started well. And the inside in that 4th lane, he's getting some pressure, but still pushing clear as Welpton. And in and around, certainly sub 11. And negotiate that slight headwind. Tian Welpton getting the job done, the double if you like, the 60, and now the 100 metres. As we await the official times coming through, 10.27 for Tian Welpton, holding off Naoki Inui here on his left shoulder. Quite the battle between those two Japanese runners. Yuhi Mori, lane number 6. Inui's just got it over his countryman Mori.
I think if we look there as well, Tommy coming through near the end, I think we're going to see him in the 200 if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
And he's also had a pretty good start to the season over, I guess, the 61, 2 and 4, so got a lot to do, I'm sure, so I'm excited to see him back on the track. I think that was a pretty cool race, and the Japanese guys always put up a fight over here. It's always cool to see them come over, and a great run from Tian. Similar, I think, to Zoe's in terms of, I think there's still a lot more there, but you can't be too unhappy with a low 10.
Indeed, yeah, it's great to see the Japanese representation across a number of events, both track and field, elevating this program. Of course, those bronze points up for grabs. We go back to the discus and quite keep the balance there. The red flag is raised. There's our leader, Yuji Tsutsumi. 61.76 out in front over Tom Rue at this point in time. We might let Georgia step away, but we really appreciate her insights across the 100 metres. Georgia Hulls, we have the 200 metres to come, so we might even get her to jump back into the caravan for our final event on the track. So you can see Sarah just having a good chat to Zoe Hobbs there. We will get some reaction, I'm sure, from down at the track very shortly. But there are our times from the men's 100 metres. Tian Welton, 10.27. And as Georgia was alluding to there, Tommy Tapuni, who will run the 200 in about 45 minutes or so with a 10.71. Let's go to Sarah, because Zoe Hobbs is ready. Great to hear her
Well, I've
thoughts
got the
after
winner
60 and the
of
100.
that 100 metres, Zoe Hobbs, in emphatic fashion. Season's best, 11.23. How did that feel into that wind?
Hard, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, it's not fun running into headwinds. But I felt like this end of my race was a lot more strong than I've felt in previous weeks. In Canberra, I felt like I was a little bit stuck. In this race, although there was a headwind, I felt like I could actually keep the momentum going and flow home, so I'm happy, yeah.
You've had a busy, New Zealand domestic season going over to the States. What's next on your calendar?
Yeah, we've got nationals in 2 weeks in Dunedin, and then 2 weeks after that, World Indoors in China. So, yeah, that's it for the domestic season. It's quite a short, sharp domestic side of the season, and then we'll prepare for the outdoor season at the beginning of May.
You had a massive 2024 with World Indoors, 4th there, and then on to the Olympics. Have you taken a moment back to reflect on that success and, that amazing year that you had?
Yeah, I've had some time. I had some time off right after the Olympics. We're good? Okay.
We're good.
Yeah, I had some time off right after the Olympics with friends and family just to decompress, and then actually got back into training, building up to a comp Athlos for women's only, which was awesome. Then I had another little break at home, which was nice to actually be home and get to see family and friends at home on another break, and so yeah, that really reset me and prepared me to get back into things for the domestic season.
Well, after this interview, right now behind us, we can't quite see from the shop, but you can see the busy stand. There are so many young girls here who have come here to see you run, to get your signature. They've been asking me, is Zoe running? Is Zoe running? How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it warms my heart. I would have been at this meet years ago if I was from Christchurch. I remember going to the Inglewood Nationals when they were there back in the day and going around and getting the autographs from my idols. So no, it's cool, and I'll go see them after this and go say hi and yeah, get some pictures and stuff.
They'll be so stoked about that. Now, just a few questions. Get to know Zoe Hobbs a bit more for our we've got a lot of coverage, a lot of viewers around the world today, but a lot from New Zealand. So your favourite pre-race ritual?
I like to, usually it's an afternoon meet. This one was actually quite an early one being here at midday, but usually like to go get coffee in the morning. Yeah, it takes my mind off athletics and the race itself. It's just a bit of a distraction and a bit of a ritual. Yeah, so I went with one of my teammates this morning to get coffee, and yeah.
Okay, or see you with the cans on, the headphones on. What's your favourite hype song?
Devotion by Dimension.
Yeah. You knew exactly which one, didn't you?
I had to remember it because I actually got asked this question last week by Athlos, so I'm not very good at remembering. But yeah, Devotion by Dimension. There's also another artist with that, but I've forgotten.
Now, if you had to switch to another track and field event outside the 60 metres and the 100 metres, which one would it be?
Anything other than 60 or 100? 200.
Other than 200?
Long jump.
Boom! Okay, now you're...
400. Just making it clear, not 400.
Oh, I don't know, you'd go good on a 4x4 leg, I reckon, Zoe.
Like 3 years.
Right, your track and field inspiration?
You mean person?
Yep.
Jillian Fraser-Price.
Boom. Right, Zoe Hobbs, it's always a pleasure. It's wonderful to see you here. We'll let you get out to your many fans out there, but thanks very much. Congratulations. That was also a meeting record for Zoe in that 100. Zoe Hobbs, winner of the 100 metres here at the ITM for 2025.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Zoe. As we go back to the conclusion of the men's discus, it was Tom Rue. Foul for him, so that will be no improvement. He had a 57.55 in the fourth round, 57.58 in the fifth, but his best came back in the opening round, 58.61. So he will finish third. On the line here, though, with Tsutsumi. Tom Rue, excuse me. Yeah, there we go. The marker's coming up. It's just getting a bit confused by the graphics. Tsutsumi now into the circle.
Last throw of the competition, leading. 61. That. Oh, no, he's just overbalanced and gone out there. I think he might have felt that he touched the front of the circle when he knew it was going to be called a foul. But a fantastic third round throw of 61.76 for Yuji Tsutsumi. I'm sure he'll be very happy with that distance. Etienne Rousseau in second place with 58.73 in the last round. And the throwers always like to throw their best at the end. And Tom Rue, the French Olympian, with 58.61. So Etienne Rousseau just jumping over him by 12 centimetres in that last round.
While we were taking in those 100-metre sprint races, men and women, the triple jump, sponsored by News Talk ZB, came to a conclusion. It was a close competition throughout, but Connor Murphy's best of 16.10 with his third attempt enough to take the win, holding off Teta Anang by 5 centimetres, 16.05, and Yuto Adachi 16.02 in third. Olivier, he was in fourth momentarily, slips to fifth after Shemaiah James 15.93 with his final attempt over Valray's 15.92. That's a very close competition.
18 centimetres between the first five. That's just very, very close and a good competition. And we'll see Valray back in the long jump hopefully in a half hour or so.
Let's send it back down to Sarah. Speaking of the sprinters, she's spoken to Zoe Hobbs, and now she's got our men's 100-metre winner, Tian Welton.
Well, I've got the winner of the men's 100 here at the ITM, Tian Welton, 10.27 today, but some stiff competition. You know, you must have been very pleased at how you responded.
Oh, absolutely. You know, those two fellas from Japan, they're pretty quick. Don't make no mistakes. 10.13 PBs on both of them, and I managed to put a good gap on them, so I'm pretty happy with that, all things considered.
Now, if you go back to that 10.10 that you ran at the Sir Graham Douglas, you know, what was the difference today, and what did you want out of the race today?
Yeah, so the conditions are a bit blustery today, unfortunately. You know, we had a -3 in the 60 metre, which is obviously not ideal for running quick times. So with the wind kind of swirling between a head and a tail and all over the place, the goal for today was really to just put on a good race against the other quick fellas, try and walk away with the win. And my main focus on was just to try and relax that last 50 metres. And you might have caught me smiling. The last 30 metres, that's one of the things I'm trying to work on, is not tensing up so much and just trying to relax my face. So the cue for that was to smile.
Well, Tian, you've had a busy few weeks, but you did mention, you know, the wind. You're used to this wind, though. This is your home track, and you slept in your own bed last night. You've got your parents over there. You know, what's it like for you to be able to race at home?
Oh, it's awesome, guys. I can't tell you how thankful I am to Craig, Layton, and Paul and everyone for setting up this competition. It's probably my favourite, and so good to be able to sleep in my own bed and have all my friends and family come watch. You know, quite often our competitions are miles away and they have to watch on the TV, so to have the fan club here in person is just awesome, and I can't thank the organisers and everyone else enough for coming along to watch.
Yeah, well, I had a word to your mum and dad before the race. They were a bit nervous, but they had nothing to worry about. Now, Tian, you've got a few meets coming up. Can you tell us when we'll see you again?
Absolutely, you'll see me at the National Champs down in Dunedin, and after that I'll be prepping up to go over to China to race at the World Indoors in Nanjing in the end of March. Yeah.
Now, I've been asking a few of the athletes. Zoe went through these few questions. What's your favourite pre-race ritual?
Ooh, so my pre-race thing is I always have a Red Bull. Now, the reason for that is because you can get a Red Bull anywhere in the world. I have to have my Red Bull pre-race. I feel like it just gets me going. I'm not a big, listen to music guy. I kind of like to take things chill. I like to relax. I do my breath work. And I like to chat as well. I'm a bit of a yapper pre-race. I know some people like to really try and lock in and get in the zone, and then I'm the annoying guy that's trying to have a conversation, but that's just the way I work. That's the way I relax and kind of focus and lock in. So, yeah.
do like a chat, don't you? Yeah, okay. Right, you know, you did mention you're not a music guy, but I'm just going to ask you anyway, favourite hype song?
Oh yeah, so before race I like to keep it pretty high tempo. Some drum and bass normally gets me going pretty well, and although I don't listen right before the race because I'm trying to get into the zone, I can promise you in the car on the way here my sound system was pumping, so yeah.
Like it was a short drive for your eardrums. Right, if you were to switch to another event outside of sprinting in track and field, what would it be?
Ooh, good question. You know, it wouldn't be a long distance event. I think it would still have to be something fairly fast twitch. I quite like the jumps. You know, I wouldn't mind being a long or triple jumper, going back to those events. I used to do them when I was younger. But funny enough, because I train with the two shot putters in the gym, I think I'm somewhat of a shot putter at heart as well. I just enjoy doing the power stuff, and you know, I just love training with those guys in the gym. Tom and Nick, shout out my training partners, and yeah, I do like to eat as well. So I think if I was a thrower, I wouldn't have to hold back as much.
Right, favourite or significant person who's been a track and field inspiration to you?
Oh, there's heaps of people. You know, just to point out a few: Zoe Hobbs, Hamish Kerr. You know, some of the fantastic athletes we have in New Zealand. I think especially Hamish, being able to see that, you know, someone that gyms on my gym and trains on my track and win an Olympic gold medal. I think that's beyond inspirational. So, yeah, outside of athletics New Zealand, you know, it's got to be the all-time greats. People like Usain Bolt, Asafa Powell. You know, I'm a big fan of those guys.
Well, Tian, great run today. 10:27 as you build internationals. We're really looking forward to seeing you in Dunedin, but another great meeting at ITM for you. The winner of the men's 100 today, Tian Welpton.
Thank you, Sarah. Tian very generous with his time there as well. Of course, still got the 200 to come on the track, but 800 our focus from here. The women's 800. Not too far away from getting underway. It was just a warm applause there for our high jumpers too. If we get a camera over across to our men's high jump competition shortly, featuring, of course, our Olympic champion and newly minted Sportsman of the Year, Hamish Kerr. And I can tell you, Hamish is passing up some of these early heights. Looks like he'll come in at 2:15. So far we've had Adam Stack and Ben Walker over at 1m96. As you can see there in the backdrop too, Tom Walsh, Nick Palmer warming up for the men's shot put. So plenty of action down here at this end of Puna, Weir. Get ready for 800 metre action, and no doubt bringing you the latest from the men's shot put and men's high jump as well. Here we go in the high jump. Actually, this might be Tia Wynyard potentially. Ben Walker, excuse me. And those colours confused, old boys' colours.
Women's 800 about to start shortly, and we have another fine race set up here with a bunch of young women who have personal bests within about 2 seconds of each other. And we have Amelia Henstock, who we saw finish second or third in that B800 about an hour ago, returning to the track to help pace them around on the first lap. So in the field we have Alma Robb, ran a recent personal best of 2:07 high in Australia after she'd entered here. Cameron Smart, former national 400 metre champion, who is doing a bit of a step up to 800 these days. She ran the 400 at the Sir Graham Douglas, but has run a few 800s. The twins, Sarah and Lisa Hellier, out of ACA in Auckland, who finished second and third at the New Zealand secondary schools, breaking Angie Petty's old record. Unfortunately, they were just a little bit behind Bo Ritchie, who was entered here but was a little bit of a late scratching. Samantha Lascelles, local girl, Rosa Twyford, Canterbury champion last week, and Kate Borton from North Harbour Bay is making up the field. So we see Amelia stretching them out. Pack not really going with her, but starting to chase. That's Cameron Smart moving clear, chasing Amelia there. Sam Lascelles in behind her. Rosa Twyford coming around her. Then we have Alma Robb, the shorter figure, in fourth there, and then Lisa and Sarah Hellier, followed by Rosa Twyford, who got a bit boxed there. Amelia leading them around into the wind, breaking part of that wind for them. She leads into the straight. Cameron Smart in second. Good aggressive run from her. She's sort of sat back a bit in her earlier 800s. Sam Lascelles going through, and Amelia has gone through really good. 61, 62 seconds through 400, and she carries on. So this is setting them all up for personal best 2.6, 2.7. Cameron Smart in second. Sam Lascelles, Alma Robb, Amelia Henstock steps off. Great job there. Cameron Smart now in the lead. Sam Lascelles behind her. Alma Robb, Lisa and Sarah Hellier. Rosa Twyford comes around them. Kate Borton off a personal best 400 not so long ago is trailing the pack. She'll be looking for a good personal best, looking to go under 2 minutes 10 here. Sam Lascelles come up on Cameron Smart, but Cameron Smart still leads as they go around with 200 to go. Cameron Smart leads, Sam Lascelles on her shoulder, and here come the Hellier twins, Lisa and Sarah. Alma Robb there. Rosa Twyford has a strong finish, and she is coming around now. She's sat back, she's got pulled around, she moves around into fourth. And is she going to go right round into third? Sam Lascelles goes in ahead of Cameron Smart. Sam Lascelles leads into the home straight. Cameron Smart on the inside. Lisa Hellier. Sarah Hellier dropping back. Alma Robb finishing strong. Rosa Twyford finishing strong. Cameron Smart, this will be the biggest win of her career, and it's going to be a massive personal best. 2:05, 2:06, 2:07, and she just holds off Alma Robb. So we had Cameron Smart, Alma Robb, Sam Lascelles, I think it was Lisa Hellier there in fourth. We'll wait for the times to come up. But there is going to be some good times there, and I believe a big personal best, or certainly a personal best of some sort for Cameron Smart. Saw her appearance, of course. If you're looking at the program, the New Zealand record holder for the 800 metres is one Tony Hodgkinson, who happens to be the mother of Cameron, not Cameron being the daughter of Tony, but Cameron, of course, a 400 metre champion in her own right, and yeah, great run over 800, Nick.
That was a fantastic run. What about the finish? And what about the push from Alma Robb late down that finishing stretch? It's actually I was walking the dog with my wife and young child out at the Papanui League ground yesterday. There was a lady running laps around, and it was Alma Robb. I'm certain of it now. She was going and going and going, and she showed her stamina there to really push late. So we wait those times come through. It was a fantastic addition to the women's 800 metres. Well called as well. The men's 800 still to come as times. Men's high jump, men's shot put. Just getting into their early attempts. Unfortunately, might have a slight delay here on the Athlete Live, Athletic Net timings.
So yes, we have the times now. So Cameron Smart, 2:09.06, 3/100 she held Alma Robb off. Well, we knew it was close, but Alma Robb really with that last lunge. Sam Lascelles with a 2:09.38. Lisa Hellier, 2:09.58. Rosa Twyford, 2:09.94. So the first five all within a second of each other. Sarah Hellier, 2:11.43. And Kate Borton, 2:14.46.
And a shout out to our pacemaker, because she really set the race up, Amelia Henstock.
Oh, great work. She just ran an 800 a short time ago, and she got to sort of 450, 480 metres. Great job by her, and well done. She's only 16 years old. I'm sure she'll be looking to be in that A race in the future.
Men's 800 metres time. As we just quickly cross back to the men's shots. Nick Palmer, one of our New Zealand 20 metre club.
Still warming up there.
3:45 is our official start time for the men's shot. So I'm just getting a little bit excited, but great to see Tom Walsh there in the circle. Competition not too far away. Crowd building down our end of the track at Puna White. The men's 800, the men's high jump. It's all happening down this end.
Yeah, the men's 800. Now I'm very excited about this. There's obviously been a lot of coverage of Sam Ruth. Recently, Sam was going to run here originally, but has been pulled away with other commitments. But sneaking under the radar has been Joe Martin from the Wellington Scottish Club, the New Zealand Secondary School Senior Boys Champion. He's run 150.3 already this season, and he's looking to go under 150. As we see Jordan Veach, the pacemaker, he's looking to take them through in 53 seconds. Ollie Dunshay right behind him, he is a 152 man looking to go 150. Ethan Smoley there, Joe Martin in third. Those three men are the three fastest in the field, all looking for their first sub 150, which is sort of the mark of the top class 800 metre runner. So Jordan's taking them through. A little bit of a gap there. Ollie's tucked in right behind Ethan Smoley, Joe Martin there. And then we have Josh Brown in the back, Costa Mills from Wellington Harriers as well. All these men looking for personal best to get sucked around. Good time. Max McGregor, second to Sam Ruth in the secondary schools under 16 race at the back there, starting to make a move through. Jordan Veach gets them through, and now can they carry on this pace down the back straight? Ethan Smoley has been led in front. Joe Martin looks like he is absolutely cruising there. Costa Mills as well. We've got Connell McLean coming from way back as well. Connell McLean was second in the New Zealand secondary schools to Joe Martin and ran a 1:51 at the night of fives. Look for him to have a big finish as an outstanding 200 metre time. He goes around a couple of guys with 600 to go. Ethan Smoley still leads Joe Martin exactly as he did in the New Zealand secondary schools, winding it up 120 out. These men will be looking for sub 150, 135 with 100 to go, and Joe Martin has made a big break for home. He is going to go very close to that mark, 143, 44 as he goes towards the finish. Ethan Smoley chasing him down. Joe Martin with his New Zealand secondary schools top, 48, 49. He might have just dipped under. Ethan Smoley there. Costa Mills coming through. Luca Everett. Max McGregor is going to have a massive personal best there, the young lad from Southland. And we will see those times come up very shortly. And Joe Martin has gone just over the 150. Another 150.3. So very, very close. 150.3, Ethan Smoley 151. Costa Mills was up in third, 152.60. Luca Everett 152.96. Max McGregor, the 16-year-old from Gore, has run a 2-second personal best, 1 minute 54.26. And I know there's been a lot of chat in athletic circles about Sam Ruth, who's an outstanding talent, but we do have some really, really good young men chasing him, and he's setting targets for them as well. Connell McLean 154. Nicholas Alvarez Ravorag with a personal best of 157.05. Louis Howe 157. And that is the end of the field as they come through. So a couple of personal bests there, and so close for Joe Martin. But again, he's still at school. Still 17, doesn't turn 18 till later in the year, and he's run 150.32. That is an outstanding race from the young man. Ethan Smoley as well, just turned 21, and he's run another 151 on his home track. And Costa Mills, another young man, just 22 years of age, so our 800 metre running looking bright.
There's a lot of depth there. It is an exciting time across a multitude of events in the track and field, certainly in the middle distance space there. Joe Martin taking out the men's 800 metres. Let's go back down to Sarah though. She was catching up with Zoe and Tian before, and I believe now she has our Para-Athlete of the Year at the Halberg Awards, Anna Grimaldi.
Well, I've got Anna Grimaldi here. Anna, it's been a massive week, winner of the Halberg Para-Athlete of the Year. But here today, you ran the 100. How was it?
Yeah, it was tough. I will not lie, the conditions were kind of hard. We had a big headwind, but I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be racing. It was a huge week. I think I've still got a bit of whiplash from the whole week, but yeah, just I don't know, happy to be here. It's sunny, yeah, in Christchurch in the South Island. Yeah, it's great.
Hey, well, let's talk about that Halberg win, because you gave an incredible speech there. It touched the nation. But how do you feel? You know, you said you have got a bit of whiplash, but you must be, I guess, a little bit tired from all the adrenaline.
Yeah, I know, exactly. The whole event was just a big pinching run. I've never been to a full-blown Halbergs before. It was my third time nominated, but it was like my first actual awards, and so it was just overwhelming. I was super excited, pretty nervous that there was potential I might have to get up on stage and say something. So yeah, when I got up there I was pretty overwhelmed, but I think just what came out was how I was feeling and how I've been feeling, and kind of the combination of my 11-year career so far and where we've got to, and I feel pretty lucky that I get to call this my job and make Little Anna proud, I guess.
Well, there's so many people that are proud of you, and a 3-time Paralympic champion today. You know, in the past at the ITM, we've seen you a lot in the long jump, but you're not going to be on the long jump runway so much this year. Can you talk us through that?
Yeah, I mean, I spent nearly 11 years as a long jumper as my primary event, and I think it's taken its toll on my body. We were kind of, I was just holding on, I think, for the games to get through as healthy as possible, and I think now it's time to just have a wee break. Let it sit over in the corner and just let running take over, which is super exciting. It feels like a new era of my career, something we haven't fully focused on ever before, which is quite exciting, a bit more freedom, and it's nice to be coming from those decision-making, you know, what event we're going to be focusing on from such a privileged position now, having won. So, yeah, I don't know, I'm excited for this season, and and its lack of long jumping, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's been nicer to my body so far.
One of the things I really liked about your speech at the Halbergs is you were quick to acknowledge Brent Ward and the influence of past coach like him, and he's done so much for athletics in Otago and New Zealand. Now you've got Mikey Jacobs, and who's doing extraordinary things. I've just seen him. But, let's talk about, why those foundational coaches are actually so important to athletes.
Definitely. I mean, I started off, I had no idea anything about athletics, and Brent shared his love of athletics with me. He helped me see it for what it was. He coached me through total, newbiness to 2 Paralympic gold medals. And I mean, I see the third one as, I was with Mikey for a lot of that, but those first 2 golds set me up to win the third one, and I think that was really important for me to acknowledge. He donated so much of his time to me over the years, and I can't thank him enough. Like, that was just such a tiny way of saying thank you, but he changed my life. He set me in this path, and I'll be grateful forever, yeah.
Right, well, I've been asking some of the Kiwi athletes a few little quick fire questions. So what's your favourite pre-comp routine?
Well, and I didn't do it today, so maybe that's why I ran a little bit slow, but usually, I've been starting to do some handstands before I go to call room, just to sort of lighten the mood, remind myself that it's not always serious. Sometimes it's just running in a straight line, and but I didn't do it today. I didn't have time, so maybe next time I'll make sure I do that.
Okay, favourite hype song?
Ooh. I don't know, I just sort of push shuffle, but it's usually got lots of, a good strong lyric that I can, repeat to myself once I have to take the headphones off and get into call room. Something that I can keep referring back to in my brain to keep me in that mood. Yeah.
I like that. So if you weren't doing 100 or 200 or long jump, what track and field event would you like to do?
Ooh. I think probably high jump, maybe. And I'm very short, as you can tell. So it's probably not why I didn't go into that. But I think it looks pretty fun.
Yeah, it is fun. I can recommend it, actually. Now, your track and field inspiration?
It's hard because I started athletics when I was quite old. I was nearly 17 when I got into it. And I think for me in the para space, Holly Robinson was a really big influence on my career. She was from where I was from in Dunedin. She was doing what I wanted to do. She showed me the pathway, and I guess it was what gave me sort of the nod to know that I could fully commit to this, because there was a pathway for me to become a Paralympian. So I'll say Holly.
Now, speaking of Dunedin, Nationals is in the Deep South in a few weeks' time. You must be excited for that. Tell us what to expect from Nationals in Dunedin.
We are really excited to have everyone in Dunedin. It's going to be so nice having everyone come to us. We often go to everyone else, so it's our chance to host you all, and we're really excited. The track is my favourite track in the country, super bouncy, and I'm hopeful that the weather will be good. I think we've had a little bit of a late summer, but I'm hoping it's just starting and it'll be perfectly brewed by the time everyone gets there. But we can't wait to host everyone.
Well, we can't wait to be there in a few weeks' time. But today, Anna Grimaldi, congratulations not only on your achievements last year, achievements in the week, being named the Para Athlete of the Year for New Zealand. Extraordinary achievement. We love what you're doing for the sport and what you're doing for para sport as well. Anna Grimaldi, legend. Back to you, Nick.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Anna. Great to get this access to our top line athletes involved here at this edition of the International Track Meet. We've just had our men's shot put field introduced to the crowd, so we are moments away from that competition getting underway, of course, featuring Tom Walsh. Very loyal to coming back to this event time after time after time. Craig, you must be pretty proud to see someone like Tom, who I think competed potentially in the first one. I think he was saying on News Talk ZB this morning he's only missed the one since it started in 2009, and here he is looking to build into another Olympic cycle.
Yeah, look, Tom's been a fantastic supporter of our event since he was a teenager. I think he won his first one in our very first meet in 2009. And the only one he missed was last year when it was a direct clash with World Indoors. And we can't blame him for going to World Indoors over the ITM. He's been a fantastic supporter of our events. He's also brought internationally ranked shot putters here to train with him and compete. Can't say enough about the man. He is just a great ambassador for the sport. And, look, he even helped us this year find some accommodation at our meet hotel, where we were struggling to find enough units, and he had a contact and put them in touch with us and got us some rooms. that's just a credit to the man and what he does for the sport. And look, it's fantastic to see him back competing after that horrendous injury at the Olympics. And I know he's just looking at this as a building step, as he's got the Nationals in 2 weeks and he wants to win his title back off Jacko. And then hopefully he'll be going to World Indoors a couple of weeks after that.
Certainly. It's all ahead of Tom Walsh, and of course the first time here at the ITM as a dad. Young daughter Billy, so that's pretty cool as well, as someone who was a first-time dad not too long ago as well. Got the men's high jump, of course, just to the right as the bar, I believe now set at 2:11, so not too far away. Speaking of stars of our sport, Olympic champion Hamish Kerr will take the tracksuit off and show us all sort of class of an Olympic champion. But, plenty still happening on the track too. We'll have 200 metres coming. We've just got some relay events, secondary school relay events taking place at this time. But just to keep you up to date as to where things are at in the men's high jump, we've had Tia Wynyard over at 2.06, and Ben Walker and Adam Stack, they both had 3 attempts, unsuccessful attempts at 2.06, cleared at 2.01. So it's very much just Tia Wynyard and Hamish Kerr to come.
And Tia has already jumped 2:10 this season. He's having a great season, and his second clearance at 2:06 there was very good. We didn't have it on television, watching it out of the caravan window here. So he's had one attempt at 2:11. He's got a bit of a rest, and then he'll have his second attempt at 2:11, which will be a personal best, and getting very close to, for what is high jump, is the magical 7-foot mark. So he'll be looking for, first of all, the personal best, and then going a little bit further. And as we see on the track, the 4x100 secondary school girls away, 5 teams in that. You see them racing down the back straight there. We have, looks like Craighead Diocesan in front, along with Villa Maria, St Andrews College, Christchurch Girls, Rolleston College. Very hard to tell their singlets from here, but they're zooming around the track as we have another look at the shot put. Nick Palmer into the circle for his first competitive attempt today.
Christchurch base these days, Nick Palmer. Hastings though, and he's overstepped there, and that won't be measured up. Didn't get the balance quite right.
So Blessing Sifo leading the competition at the moment with 17.26. Now Blessing went to the World Juniors in Peru earlier, or late last year, and managed to make the final. Of course, he was thrown as a junior there with the 6 kg weight, and now he is turning 20 this year, so stepped up to senior ranks, 7.26, and just in the last couple of weeks has thrown a couple of big personal bests.
Here is Tom Walsh now, attempt number 1. Puna White, is it a big roar, bit of a pep in the step, little skip, little clap. We'll see, just a little acknowledgement maybe. Yeah, it's a start.
In the high jump, we're still at 2:11. So we wait for Tom's distance to come up on our screens.
.10 for Tom. Pretty handy starting point, no doubt about that. And that's immediately better. Contextualising it with a couple of weeks ago for Tom Walsh, he had a 20.86 to finish runner-up at the Sir Graham Douglas International in Waitakere a couple of weeks ago. So to immediately, his first shot, 21.10, just building those foundation blocks.
He'll be very, very pleased with that. I think 21 first up, improvement from Sir Graham Douglas, and he gets better as the competition goes on. So we know how he loves to throw big at the end, all throwers do, but starting with a 21, that's a big step in the right direction for him, and by the looks of it, he wasn't too overly happy with the whole throw. but we'll just see how we go as Nathaniel Salupo of Samoa steps in out of the Solar Power Group with Shaka Solar in Wellington. Very good shot put and discus exponent. Good block, he lets it go well, stays in the circle, and he's out the back there. It's the white flag. He started with a 15.68, so we'll see if that's an improvement on his first round throw shortly. Over in the high jump, Tia Wynyard is looking at his
third attempt, but this is the long limbs of Hamish Kerr.
Oh,
look at that for timing.
Wow, 2:15, like he was just jumping into bed. He made that look very, very easy. So Tia has bowed out at 2:11. The bar's gone to 2:15, and Hamish has cleared that first pop, 2:15. Nice little opener for him, and he trains here. He's very familiar with the track, but athletes really like to get going with that. He's having a word with the officials there to let's push the bar up to 2:19 for the next round.
Like Tom.
No, he's skipping 2:19 altogether by the looks. He's asked them to go up to 2:20. He's going to keep going up in fives.
Yeah, well, it's 2:19. This, like Tom, Hamish's second domestic meet of the year. 2:19 at Cook's, 25th of January. Again, just building those blocks, but no doubt, as you alluded to, Craig, Christchurch is home these days for Hamish, and he'll be wanting to put on a bit of a show.
Yes, and just like it's a warm day, the jumpers and the throwers like it when they're warm, the muscles are warm. He's used to jumping here. There's a light breeze blowing, not as strong as Napunawai can be. He'll be used to that as well, and I'm sure we're going to see some good jumpers there. I know, talking to him yesterday, that he was very pumped about the meet. As a lot of the athletes said, it's so much better when you're jumping at home, sleeping in your own bed, and coming out and competing.
See Hamish Kerr at 2:20. Just a glance back to the shot puts. This might be our Australian competitor who's in the discus.
No, that's Blessing Sifo who's come out. Yep. So the young man, first month or so as a senior, as he turns 20 this year. Nathaniel Salupo was out to 15.96, getting closer and closer to his best. And then we have Nick Palmer getting ready for the next throw as well.
Etienne also a little bit earlier, 15.20 to occupy fourth. Here is Nick Palmer, foul first up.
The third member of the New Zealand Shot Putters 20 metre club with Tom and Jacko, and looking to just keep creeping up towards that 21 and start getting the selection into those major championships. Doing a lot of training again here and out on the backfield. This is where he does all his work. Familiar with the conditions, familiar with the circle. Wanting to put on a big show for his friends and family. Too overly happy with that. Like he might have just rolled off his thumb a little bit, but see what the distance is. Meanwhile, in the high jump, we're over to 2:20. Hamish taking the maximum amount of time between jumps that he's allowed. It's the only competitor left in the competition. And Tom Walsh waiting for the call to go back into the circle for his second round.
So 19.05 there for Nick Palmer to move into second position. There's Tom Walsh getting the crowd. Create a bit of noise.
Bit of noise, bit of atmosphere. Get the heart pumping a little bit more adrenaline, a little bit more power to go in.
21.10 first up for Tom. What's he got here? Take two.
Oh, he's happy with that. He's giving it a big
skip
yes,
again.
Yeah,
hello, look out.
Yeah, he's clapping his hands himself. He's pretty happy with that. And Nick Palmer will have been happy to get that 19.05 out there as well after a foul first round and start building up and getting over and up into the 20s again. Tom's certainly very happy, and that's always a good sign. They can really tell when it comes off the hand well, and they're probably a better judge than us, and that's not quite as far, but still 20.77. So nearly as far as he threw last week in his 6 throws, and he's had 2, one out over it and one about the same. And now we have Hamish out on the runway for the high jump, and he's getting the crowd going as well. It's all happening this end of the track.
Hamish Kerr, first time at 2.20, certainly well in his means. Sunny's on, and easy as you like.
Well, that is the class. I mean, he's jumped 236, which, if you're sitting in your house at home, your standard doorway is about 2 metres 10. So he's just jumped 220, so you're 10 centimetres above your doorway, and think about getting your whole body up over that height. And then add another 16 centimetres to that, and that's how high Hamish has jumped. So it's a decent height if you're looking for something to compare it to. So we have the shot put going as well. We'll head to the 200s shortly as we see a slow-mo replay of Tom and the shot put, and just the amount of speed and power that he generates in the rotation.
You heard him on News Talk ZB this morning. He was just talking about being in a free zone, the ability to just be able to let it fly, uninhibited by that adductor injury. Just have the belief that everything is in sync and centre to some great pictures.
Yes, and look, every athlete that's undergone a major injury, it's certainly a confidence thing coming back, knowing that you can trust your body to do what your mind's telling it to do. And the bar has gone to 2 metres 24 in the high jump. That's obviously the height that Hamish has asked for next, and we're heading, looks like we're getting the C200 out on to the track at the moment. They will be running from here down the back straight, down the usual back straight for the 200. The wind is changed enough, we're going to have it over their backs in the 200 as we see Hamish coming in, perfect concentration, looking at the bar, leaning into that jump. The left hand drives up, left knee, the arch, and then the flick of the feet, easy as you like it, 2 metres 20. No problem at all. Just updating a couple of other results. Nathan Slupo's gone out to 16 metres 29. The shot put, another 30 centimetre improvement. And over in the men's long jump, we have a very, very good jump from Shotaro Shiroyama from Japan of 7.85 in the first round, and he's well in front of Harrison Williams, who's jumped 7.59 first round. It's early days there yet in the long jump. We'll switch to that later on after the shot put and high jump have reached their concluding stages. Shortly we will have the women's 200 metres, starting with a third race, a C round in it. Very good, with a lot of depth in women's sprinting, as Georgia explained to us earlier, and she'll be back in here hopefully for the bronze 200 metre races a little bit later on.
I know, working with Sarah Kelly-Ross at the Sir Graham Douglas International as well, she's very excited by the potential form of Shea Veach, who's in our men's long jump field as well, in terms of finally getting over that 8 metre barrier. I think the PB's at 7.99, and really encouraging 100 metre sprint time earlier in our summer series. It gave Sarah full confidence that it's a matter of when, not if, for Shea. Fingers crossed for him too as we head back to the shot. Here's Nick Palmer. It's contagious, the clapping down this end. Everyone trying to get an advantage out of the crowd. It's great to see.
We'll see Shea Veach in the 200 metres later on too. He's just stepping out over the 200 metre distance after he's finished the long jump. So see if he can take that 100 metre speed into the 200.
Palmer, third round.
He's clapping that. Yeah. He's pretty happy with that.
19.05 round 2. Nick Palmer, this is his 4th domestic competition of the summer. His season's best was at the Sir Graham Douglas, 19.49. No doubt he'll get an adrenaline hit, I feel, out of competing alongside Tom, having this noisy crowd. And he goes 19.72, season's best. Bang!
It's getting very close. 28 centimetres, that's basically the length of a ruler off the 20 metres. So he is, will be very happy with that, building into the competition nicely. after a first round foul, 1905, then 1972. And we have Tom in the circle as the women's C 200 metre gets underway. We're going to stay on the field events. Tom, pretty big, keeps his balance. Not as happy with that one. He's did a little bit of shake of the head. Might have just lost a bit of balance on the block at the end there. We'll wait for that.
Yeah, 1972, still the Nick Palmer measurement. They're just adjusting it there. Looks like it is going to be north of 20.42. So no improvement on the first one, 21.10 for Tom Walsh. But some good consistent throws here from one of South Canterbury's finest. And this is Kieran Fowler into the circle. Looking to improve upon his best so far, 14.44. Keeping eyes as well on Hamish Kerr. Here he is. Look at that crowd. That's what you get. And there's an Olympic champion in your midst at the ITM. Oh.
The approach, concentration on the bar, and he's done that very easily. Very, very easily. He is having a good day at the office. That's a great jump. He will be very, very happy. Three jumps, 3 clearances.
Can't fold it.
No, he's not even looking close, like touching the bar. And I think we might be looking at 227, 228 next, which will be a stadium record. I know, having a wee chat to him, he's a bit annoyed that one of the Japanese jumpers took his stadium record away. It's like, it's my home ground. I want my name on the record book. So yeah, another brilliant slow-mo replay from him. You see that total concentration on the bar, the smooth run up, straight line first, then into the curve, focused on the bar. It's any young high jumpers that are looking, it's fantastic technique, and he has cleared that very, very easily. Of course, Tomo and Hamish both competed in the high jump at the Olympics later that year, so yeah, that was good. I'll just give you a quick update on that women's 200, the C race that went just before. Lily Dunn from Papanui Tok H was the winner, 25.69. Sam Lascelles 26.06 in second, backing up after her 800. Neve Townsend 26.44. Ruby Mahawika, South Canterbury 26.82. Faith Coffin, also South Canterbury, 27.79. Lilla Favourite, 27.99. And Sarah James, our para-wheelchair athlete, T53 with a 35.46, which I believe will be very, very close to her best. We'll soon see if it's a record for her, but great running by all those young ladies. The men's 200 metre B will be up shortly, but we're going to stick with the field events for the time being, and we'll give you updates on those times in the 200s before switching to the bronze events later on.
Yeah, down this the other end of the stadium with the women's triple jump and men's long jump running side by side. Early lead in the women's triple, Anna Fraser with an 11.92, and in the men's long jump, after a couple of rounds, it is the Japanese athlete Shotaro Shoyama out in front with a 7.85. Shave each, best of the Kiwis there, 4th position, 7.34.
And we can tell you there is a little bit of a swirling wind in the stadium. It's unusual for Napunawai. Usually it's either blowing a gale one way or the other, but it is causing a little bit of havoc. I talked to a couple of the jumps coaches, and they were like, they had tailwinds and then they had headwinds. So it's a little bit flustery today, but the athletes will, of course, just have to be used to that, because it can happen in any stadium in the world. And yeah, we'll look forward to some of them hitting the mark, and I'm certainly looking. I know you mentioned Shavich before, but his speed at the moment is absolutely superb, which is a big component of the long jump. He's jumped 7.99, and I think it's only a matter of time before he puts it all together and hits that 8 metre mark, and that propels him right up into World Championship level status. So hopefully this competition that he's getting from the 2 Japanese and the Australian will help lift him there.
Yeah, we'll certainly keep eyes and ears on that. The women's discus too, sponsored by Spectrum Print, into the second round. Nanaka Kori of Japan in front, 57.97. Tatiana Komawana out of Te Araha, 56.83 in second position. Not too far away though from the men's 200 metres B race, which of course features our local Paralympian Will Steadman in the outside lane number 9, featured earlier in our program in the 100 metres. Great to see Will Steadman here at the ITM. Here is Hamish Kerr though, with the bar set at 2:27.
This will equal the stadium record and get him up with Tomohiro Shino, and then I'm sure he'll be looking ahead. He clears this, he's starting to get the crowd clapping behind him. He wants the noise, get that adrenaline, get that lift. 2.27, you're getting up into the rarefied air now.
Ooh, just nips the bar.
Yeah.
Wasn't as close to the bar as he had been in some of those elevated, once he elevates. So
just side on from where we are, it looked like he was perhaps a little bit far out from the bar, but I'm sure his coach James will be giving him some feedback and they'll adjust as appropriate. As we see Blessing Sifo, and that's another big throw from Blessing. Young man, like I said, he's still only 19 years old, doesn't turn till 20 till later in the year, and he is on the rise. He's a big unit. Actually, we've missed his second round throw was 18.09. He has thrown in 1861, but that's big throwing for a 19-year-old. He's going to start chasing Nick and Tom over the next 18 months, 2 years, as he builds strength, coached by John Eden, who's got a huge throwing group in South Auckland there. As we see Nick Palmer into the circle for his 4th round throw. Oh, he likes that.
Oh, might have cleared that 20 line, just shy.
Oh, just shy. See the markers out there at just short of the 20 metres. It's a fantastic shot, just showing you how far that is. Now remember this ball of steel they're throwing weighs 7.26 kgs. So if you're a gym goer, next time you go into the gym, lift one of those 7 kg kettlebells and think about whether you could throw it anywhere close to 10 metres, let alone 20. Shows you how strong these guys are.
I think I'd fall backwards, Craig, to be perfectly honest, rather than go anywhere forwards.
All right, B200 metres men is away. First time speeding around the bend there. As they head around the bend there, we see them come through into the straight. Joe Berman on the inside out of Newry Greenhouse's squad, but they're all lining up. Ethan Hole from Geraldine representing South Canterbury, though, might have taken it. Young secondary school runner, and he has. Very good run by Ethan Hole. Joe Berman there in second. Will Steadman coming across. It looks like that'll be a solid time for him as well. But big step up for Ethan Hole, still at secondary school. And he made the final New Zealand secondary schools. Young man out of Geraldine High School, runs for the South Canterbury club. And, he and my daughter Orla used to play rugby together back in the under 10s and under 11s. And the whole game plan was get the ball to Ethan in space, and he would run around everybody and score. And he's carried that speed right through.
Well, that was ongoing. Tom Walsh, 4th attempt, 20.63. There's a slow-mo replay. Again, had that little skip out of the circle, but perhaps knew it wasn't going to be an improvement upon his best so far, 21.10. There you go, the side there. Oh, not quite. Yeah. Still got 2 more goes at it.
So it's a very good sequence of just those 200 results there. So Ethan Hole has run a massive personal best, I think by 0.3 or 4 of a second, 22.04 seconds with a perfect plus 2.0 tailwind. So great call by the officials to change running down the back straight. They're getting a lovely tail there. So Ethan Hole with personal best 22.04. Joe Berman 22.25. Zach Walton from Christchurch Boys High School, another school kid, 22.43. And Lucas Stevens also for Christchurch Old Boys United, but he's still a schoolboy as well, 22.54, so some fantastic young sprinting talent come through. And these guys didn't make the A race.
Speaks to the depth, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I think we've got Hamish back out on the runway. He'll be having a crack at 2:27. Meanwhile, the women's B200 with his partner Maddie Wilson in her third event of the day is lining up in the blocks.
I was going to say, how polite is Hamish going to be here? No, he's saying, I'll go first, Maddie.
Yeah, just let me go. I'm the Olympic champion, so you need to wait for me. And here he goes, second attempt at 2 metres 27. Hamish Kerr, Olympic and world indoor champion. And he's just flicked that again. Just staying on the mat, having a little bit of a think. He'll go and have a chat with Coach James Sandilands, I'm sure. And they'll have a chat about what he's going to do for his third attempt. Women's B200 coming up now. We have a fantastic field in the women's A200 with every single runner under 24 seconds. And here in the B200, looks like we've had a late scratching. Brianna Stevenson, the hurdler and heptathlete, is out, but we have Michaela Feety out of Nelson, good young runner, still a junior runner. Kate Borton, who was in the 800 earlier, also a good 200, 400 runner, so she's running the 200. Maddie Wilson, as we've talked about, fantastic heptathlete. She's already done very close to personal best in the high jump, personal best in the hurdle. She did the shot put. This is her fourth event of the day. She is used to doing heptathlon. And then Phoebe Laker, outstanding talent from the Aspiring Athletics Club down Wanaka Way, and she won the New Zealand Secondary Schools under 16 400 metres. She is very, very fast, and she'll be looking to go under well under 25. And Samantha Lathwood, another one out of Newry Greenhouse's Team Green, running for Takapuna, and she ran a windy 11.85 at Sir Graham Douglas last week to win the B100. So very, very fast B race coming up there. And over in the shot put, looks like we've got Nick Palmer and Tom Walsh about to go into the circle, and we'll probably switch to them as soon as this 200 metres is over. Should take these young ladies about 24-25 seconds as we see one of the triple jump competitors again just overstepping in the mark. They're having a bit of struggle with the wind swirling down on that home straight a little bit, but it looks like it's perfect for the 200 metres here. Nick Palmer in the shot put. Again, he's bouncing it out near those 20 metre markers, just short of them, but he's putting together a very, very good sequence. Women's B200, Feety in 3, Borton in 4, Scratching Stevenson in 6, Maddie Wilson in 5, Phoebe Laker in 7, and Samantha Lathwood in 8. They're away cleanly. Feety's got a good start there on the inside. Very powerful starter in the red of Richmond there. Kate Borton, the distance runner, she will finish very, very strongly. Maddie Wilson coming strong around the bend. Phoebe Laker, the youngster, on the outside, maybe in the lead there. Maddie Wilson lifts her knees. She's looking for another PB, but Phoebe Laker is running away with it here. Samantha Lathwood coming strong. Phoebe Laker, though, will take the win. Looks like Maddie Wilson will get up for second, just ahead of Samantha Lathwood, Kate Borton and Michaela Feety. And we will see what those times are there. You can see there's a bit of a bluster. They're getting a bit of a crosswind there. Tailwind around the bend. Crosswind on that straight. Some very, very good running.
All the while we had Tom Walsh, his penultimate attempt, and can tell you won't be an improvement on that 21.10. Just nicked one of those 20 metre markers.
And the results of that 200 coming through as we watch Tom's replay. Phoebe Laker has in fact run a massive personal best, 24.46 with a legal plus 0.6 wind. Maddie Wilson taking second, 25.07, which will wrap up a big day for her. 4 events. Samantha Lathwood, 25.18. Kate Borton, 25.32. And Michaela Feety, 25.61 seconds. So some great running there as we look forward to the bronze races very, very soon in the men's and women's coming up, and we will hopefully have Georgia Hulls back here for some commentary on those specialist sprint events.
Here she is, into the caravan in time for those 200-metre races. It's all happening towards the back end of our program, with Hamish Kerr not far away from a third and final attempt at 2.27 as well. Final round of the men's shot put to come. Here is Hamish Kerr, as he's done all afternoon, rallying the crowd, which has filled the embankment down at this end of Ngā Puna. Third time up at 2.27. Our Olympic champion, Sportsman of the Year, of course he can. Hamish Kerr, big fist pump, and he's got that joint meet and stadium record as well, 2.27 back at his home. And now it's decision time for Hamish. Is he going to take off the shoes or keep going? Well, we shall wait and see, but here is the slow motion replay. And certainly felt like he got that jump bang on in terms of being right where he wanted to be to take off after those last two unsuccessful attempts. Looked like room to move there as well. So we're having a chat to James Sandilands, his coach. But nice moment to jump into the caravan. Georgia Hulls, how about that?
Yeah, it's a great moment and a great jump, and hopefully we'll see something higher as well.
Indeed. Final round of the men's shot to come as well, but the 200 metres not too far away. It will be the men up first. With, you were mentioning earlier, Georgia, Tommy Tapuni in some really nice form as well earlier. That was fourth in the 100 metres, so he'll be looking to build upon that in the 200 now.
Yeah, I think it will be interesting with Zach, Tommy and Angus there in the middle three. They've all been racing against each other, as I was saying, over quite a few distances for, I guess, the last few years. So it'll be nice to see how that goes down tonight. I think a little known fact about Hamish, he's actually ran a 21.1, which is pretty quick.
That is quicker than most. I can certainly vouch for that. So we head over to the women's triple jump, which is happening at the same time as the men's long jump. And speaking of the men's long jump and the 200 metres, Shay Veach will pause on the long jump for now to jump into this men's 200 metres race. It's a 10:34 off the top of my head from earlier in the domestic season over 100. And Shay, no doubt, coming into this 200 with some fantastic form. But this is the final round of the men's shot put now. This is our current runner-up, Nick Palmer, in 19.72, his best in the third round. Can he get to that 20-metre mark? It's just shy of the 20-metre barriers, but a really good set from Nick Palmer. And a season's best to walk away from here at Ngā Puna in the international track meet. Just been told the bar is going to be set at 2.30. 2 metres 30 for Hamish Kerr. Clearly wants that meet and stadium record outright. I'm looking forward to bringing you that in a short moment, but we will stay with the men's shot put. Tom Walsh is going to be our ITM winner. Can he improve on that first effort, 21.10? And the 80 centimetres separating his best and worst. It's been a really consistent performance from Tom as he builds towards nationals and then on to World Indoors. What has he got left in the tank? Timaru Tom launches. Ooh. In the middle of that 20 and 22. Acknowledges the crowd. And that's a really welcome sight after the year he endured, particularly at the Paris Games with that nasty torn adductor that curtailed his competition, as we await that final distance to come through. Slow-mo pictures as well, just superb. Show the velocity and power exuded there, the roar to go with it as well. There's the balance, of course. It's a 20.90 with the 6th and final attempt. He looks very happy just to be back out there competing in what's effectively his home event. He takes out the men's shot put, best of 21.10. Men's 200 metres not too far away. There has been a scratching in the men's 200. We were just talking before about Shea Veach and where his priorities would lie, if you like, if he was going to hit pause at the long jump, but he's going to stay over there, and he isn't going to line up in this men's 200 metres, which is understandable. So our starting list: Hunter Scott, Zach Saunders, Tommy Tapuni, Angus Liver, Jackson Rogers, Hayato Yaneto, and Harry Williamson. Finish down the back straight. I know that's where you got that sensational time with Rosie in very similar circumstances down that back straight a couple of years ago, Georgia.
Yeah, it really was. And just before they go, we've heard the wind's a little swirly, so similar to that time. It's kind of what you want.
It should be a competitive edition of this men's 200 metre race. It's off to a clean start.
I think we're seeing Zach and Tommy there pulling up.
Really good start from Hayato Yaneto in lane number 7. As they come towards that back straight now. And Tommy Tapuni out in front, right on his left shoulder. Zach Saunders, close, but Tommy Tapuni gets it.
Yeah, I think we just saw Tommy, Zach, Hayato, but it'll be interesting to see when those names come up. Looked like a pretty good run, and I think they should be relatively happy with the conditions. We'll find out those soon, though.
Certainly looked like it was sub 21, and Tommy Tapuni, that time comes through there, 20.79. Take a look at the replay, just edging Zach Saunders by 0.05 of a second. Really good finish. And Hayato Yaneto just ticking over that 21.04. Running out our top 3 in the men's 200 metres. Wind, as you mentioned, Georgia, sort of swirling around a bit. It's the official recording there, 2.4 metres. Just over that legal limit. But nonetheless, an impressive performance in the 200. Speaking of impressive performance, Hamish Kerr with the bar set at 2 metres 30. Just 6 centimetres down from that successful clearance in Paris. First attempt, Hamish Kerr. Doesn't get it quite right. And we'll go back now to some words of wisdom from his coach, James Sandilands.
I think we can't see it on the screen now, but there's a nice sign from some fans down there, which looks like it took quite a while to create. So hopefully we'll get a shot of that.
Yeah, we
on
actually,
the next jump.
I think Sarah went and caught those young kids and caught up with them a little bit earlier in our broadcast, and it's just little things like that, isn't it? That moments that'll inspire for a long time to come. And you know, just think of not only the youngsters in and around the stadium here today, but some of our young athletes in the early teens that have just had an opportunity to compete against some international caliber opposition. It's just it's what the ITM at its core is what it's all about. So very exciting.
Yeah, I think it is pretty cool, and that's what we get round in these domestic summer circuits as well. I think you get, like, where else would you see an Olympic champion and a schools champion? They're lining up together, they're having a chat. I think that's pretty invaluable, and it's really cool from Hamish and from Tom, Zoe's and Tian's, that they're still coming up, turning out, and not just being here, they're setting some pretty world-leading performances, and that's really exciting.
Certainly is. Women's triple jump action at the same time as the men's long jump. Our current leader is Mayoko Takashima with a 13.44, so just over the halfway mark in the women's triple jump. We'll bring you the conclusion of that, as well as the men's long jump, just currently being led by Shotaro Shoyama, 7.85 in the men's long jump. Women's discus in the early rounds, into the penultimate round, the 5th attempt now, led by Nanaka Kori. We're just moments away from the women's 200 metres. An event co-commentator Georgia Hulls knows a great deal about, having that blistering race with Rosie Elliott back in 2023. Just run us through this field, Georgia. Where are your eyes fixed?
So I think my eyes are fixed on Mia and Shanti at the moment. I think it would be pretty hard. Also Remy, who last year actually she got me in the last few bit there, so it'd be rude of me not to look there too. So it's a pretty stacked race, as we were saying earlier. We've also got some younger people there. Kendra's running really well. We've got Jordan back from the States, Sophia from Aussie. Like it's pretty cool to see. But yeah, Shanti, so her PB 22.5, which is pretty excellent.
Well, we caught up with Mia Gross yesterday at the press conference, so let's take a clip of that before this women's 200 metres.
Hi guys, my name is Mia Gross. I am an Australian sprinter and I am over here competing in the 200 metres. I am most excited to hopefully run fast. There's a really big group of girls in the field today, so hopefully I can be competitive with them. I've always wanted to come to New Zealand. When I was in year 12, my geo teacher was from New Zealand and all of our studies, I guess, were of New Zealand, and ever since year 12 I've been like, I want to go to New Zealand. So when the opportunity came up and I saw this meet, I was like, to my coach, get my name on that. From New Zealand, Georgia Hulls will be competing, so we're very similar. She's 22.84 and I'm 22.81, so we're very close in time. So obviously competing against her will be a good competition.
We're back to this 200 metres. It's going to be a very, very fast race. The wind is looking like it's perfect for them. And we're looking for Remy Serrata, Mia Gross and Shanti Pereira out in the middle there. See a bit of wind blowing through the hair as they come through. Away first time, Mia Gross off to a fantastic start. Brooke Summerfield outside her. Shanti Pereira is flying around that bend, so is Mia Gross. They are coming through. Remy Serrata on the inside as well. Looks like Shanti Pereira might be in front, but Mia Gross is coming at her. Remy Serrata coming late. Mia Gross looks like she's catching. It's going to be very, very close at the end. Mia Gross might just take this. Oh, and I think it was just turning over to 23 at the end there. Georgia Hulls, first thoughts?
Yeah, that was great. I think it was a great battle between the three of them, like we were saying, and I think Mia and Shanti both excellent off there. So we got 23.02 for Mia, which is an absolutely pretty great run, I'd say. That's pretty cool. 23.06, so Shanti right behind. That's what you want here. You want to be close with people. You want it to be pushing the whole way, and I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, 4/100ths of a second, and the wind is perfect again, plus 2.0.
Oh.
Sophia Figuera taking third, 23.29. Got up and got Remy Serrata, 23.45. Season's best for Brooke Summerfield, 23.71. Jordan Blake, under 24 for the first time officially, I think. Big personal best for her.
Yeah, I think PB from Sophia and
in
Jordan
the high jump,
there.
you've just seen the 2.30 clearance from Hamish Kerr. Sorry, we were going through the results and Hamish came in and just cleared 2.30 like he was jumping into bed again. Fantastic jump by him, and he takes that stadium record outright, and not sure what he's going to do from here. Looks like he's clapping to the crowd, thanking them for their support. He's ripped his number off, so that might be the end of him for today. Yeah, and the 200 metres also personal best for or season's best for Kendra Skelly, I think, but that might not be quite updated because I think she ran a 24.04, so we see Hamish clearing that and looking pretty comfortable, Georgia.
Yeah, honestly, I think we forget as well, 2.36, how high that actually is back in Paris. I think you can see this 2.30 there and just stack a whole lot more in there, but 2.30 is excellent, especially on a home track. It's really cool for those kids to see that as well.
Sounds like he's going to call it there, Hamish Kerr at 2.30. And these are cool moments, aren't they? These pictures. Young volunteers taking the opportunity quickly to jump in and get some photos. He's going to be a man in demand, Hamish Kerr. Big old week. Halberg Awards Sportsman of the Year. So just to contextualise that clearance, the 2.30, as Craig mentioned, new meet record, new stadium record, and just 1 centimetre shy of Hamish's own New Zealand residence record as well, which was set in Wellington back in 2021. They've taken those times, the 200 metres, and perfect wind and some blistering times, which is what we're all here for.
Yeah, I think I've been talking up the winds here all round Aussie for quite a while now, and I think it seems a few people have taken us up on it. 2.0, you can't get much better than that, really, and I think you can see those times, and hopefully that's going to encourage more people to come over, and we'll see more races.
People will be wondering on the stream, though, when will we see you again, Georgia Hulls? Is Nationals in your sights, or where are things at?
Yeah, definitely. So aiming for Nationals, and hopefully we'll see some of these people around there too.
Fantastic. There is Hamish Kura. No doubt we will get some comments from him with Sarah. But of course, one of our other fantastic Olympians is Tom Walsh, who's taken out the men's shot put, and he is standing by with Sarah.
Right, I've got Tom Walsh here. He's a man in demand, I tell you, but we've managed to get him. Tom, winner of the ITM once again, but 21.10, you must be happy with that.
Yeah, step in the right direction, Sarah. I first round throw was 21.10, right? So I thought I might have crept it on out there a bit. I gave it a good crack, but didn't quite nail it as well as the first one. So, yeah, I need to throw further for Nationals in 2 weeks, that's for sure.
I'm sure you will. You're on the mark up. Talk to me about the energy, because you got the crowd going. They were a little bit slow to start, but you gave them the Tom Walsh get in order. How good is it to be able to sleep in your own bed and then come out here and throw?
Oh, it's good, eh? I was actually competing against Hamish for the claps, which was tough work. You know, they were supporting him really well. But no, they did get behind me after I gave them a wee rack up. So it was good energy down here from the crowds, and a great clap kind of got going as well.
Now, this is your second comp as a dad, and Billy, I think, has been in attendance today, all going well with the sleeping. But what's it like to be able to throw in front of your new family?
Yeah, look, I haven't, during the competition, I'm trying to stay kind of pretty on point here, right? But now, knowing that it's the first comp she's been to and seeing me kind of do my thing, maybe, I'm not sure, she might have slipped through it, it's pretty cool to know that it's not just about, I've got a family now behind me, and she doesn't really care if I throw that thing 10 metres or 25 metres. So it's cool to go home and just realise that it's a little bit bigger in the world than throwing a shot put.
Speaking of people behind you, there's a lot of people behind you, Tom Walsh. The crowd was just feeling your energy, but what's it like? I know I've been talking to some young kids behind the fence, and they are so fizzing to meet you. How does that make you feel?
Well, I guess it's something that we don't ever really think about, right? Well, I do the sport because I love the challenge of figuring out how to make that shot put go a long way, and look, it's a cool byproduct to, I guess, to try and inspire these kids to, maybe do athletics or maybe pick up some other sport. But it is a pretty cool byproduct to know that kids want my signature, want a photo, and those kind of things.
Now, you've been at the ITM since its inception. I'm not saying anything about your age or anything, but, I was there too, so I've aged myself. But talk to us about these guys who have made this event. Christchurch has been through a lot, but so has this event. And I want an athlete's perspective on how great this event is for athletes in New Zealand and internationals.
Yeah. I think it's one thing they've always managed to do is create a good atmosphere here to bring foreigners across to compete against us. Obviously today we didn't have any in shot put, but over the years we've had some great shot put fields, we've had some great pole vault fields. Obviously Hamish today was jumping in front of a pretty good crowd here to supporting. So they've done an outstanding job to bring an international event to Christchurch.
Right, I've asked a few athletes this today already. Now, what is your pre-competition ritual, your favourite ritual?
I try not to have one, right? Because I go to so many different places around the world that I just can't guarantee that I'm going to get a burger or a steak, So I try to keep it pretty chilled and pretty low key, but usually socialising to some point, probably in the dining hall a little bit too long.
Now, favourite hype song?
Favourite hype song, Don't Stop Believing, Journey.
Ooh, that was, you were direct in that. That was, bang on. Okay, if you weren't doing shot put or throws, what track and field event would you be doing?
Oh, 100 metres because it's the shortest of all.
Actually, you could have done the 60. Who is your track and field inspiration?
I was pretty lucky to throw against this guy. Reese Hoffer was my inspiration. I just loved the way he went about things. He was always an underdog too, so I kind of saw that as me coming up competing against Jacko not being the guy. So Reese Hoffer is my man.
I like that. Sort of big grizzly bear, eh?
Talking about grizzly bears, be careful, Sarah.
Right. Hey, today is a significant day for Canterbury, for Christchurch, the 22nd of February. For those people who were in Canterbury during the time of the earthquakes, it's also important to reflect on this day. You know, have you got any advice for people out there who, you know, look at this day which could have been hard for them?
Yeah, I think as much as you can, right, there's generally something positive that's going on in life, whether it's you've got a roof above your head, whether you've got friends around. I guess trying to pick up something positive in the day because, you know, no matter how small it is, there generally is something good that's going to go on today. And obviously we're pretty lucky to have this great competition, but I'm sure if you're out there, you've probably got, you know, some good friends around or you've got some hot water or whatever it is. It doesn't matter how big or small it is.
Now, next comp, Nationals. Another ding-dong with Jacko on the cards. I know you'll be wanting your national title back. What's the plan between now and then?
Throw it a lot further. Look, much the same. It's about committing to the process the team's kind of put in behind me, right, and committing fully to that, because I know when I commit to that, it's going to go a long way. And I knocked on the door a bunch of times today and just didn't quite put the pieces of the puzzle together. So I just got to keep committing to that, and it's going to be a hell of a battle down in Dunedin in 2 weeks.
Yes, it is, and I can't wait for you to actually just smash through that door, actually. Tom, we'll let you get to your family, but Tom Walsh, he's been a huge supporter of the ITM. Another great show today. He is a showman. He had the crowd behind him, but congrats on the victory and the season best. Tom Walsh.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Tom. As our attention turns down, I'll quickly take in 21.10. Tom Walsh, our winner in the men's shot. Plenty happening down on this near side of the grandstand, though. A few moments ago, Shay Veach, we've been mentioning his name a couple of times over the last half an hour or so, 7.91 with his fourth attempt in the men's long jump to take the lead. And of course, it's the magic number for him, is number 8. And he's 9 centimetres away. Fingers crossed for Shay in the next couple of attempts for him. He leads Shotaro Shiroyama by 6 centimetres. So an exciting finish to the men's long jump to come. Event sponsored by News Talk ZB, and the women's triple jump alongside too.
Here is Shay Veach stepping out onto the runway now. Like we said, it's been doing some fantastic sprinting, now turning that speed into the long jump. Wow.
Gee whiz.
So just to give you a little bit of perspective, the long jump pit is 8 metres long. The takeoff board is 2 metres back from that. So he is a long way into that pit.
And the white flag went up. Measurement tape is out. And we wait and see. Shay Veach out of sight. He's having a good look too.
Yes, that magic 8 metre mark. We'll wait for that result and then we'll cross to Sarah. .32. So just measured at the point backside or wherever it is nearest to the platform. So we will come back to Shay Veach's final attempt at the men's long jump, but we will now send it back to Sarah, who has Hamish Kerr.
Right, I've got Hamish Kerr here, Olympic champion. That's very cool to be able to say, isn't it? But winner here at the ITM, 2 metres 30. How did that feel?
Yeah, I was stoked, honestly. I've sort of just started jumping well in training, and so I thought that, we might be on for something good today, but 2:30 was definitely not on the cards, so I'm stoked with that.
Hey, we'll get into the competition, but we've got some friends here who I know we introduced to you at home earlier. Sophie, Eloise and Jason, that we've got a special presentation here today. Sophie, do the honours. Now, just a reminder that these guys made this medal for Hamish. They brought it to the track here. Isn't that so cool? Made this awesome sign, and it took them 2 days to make. So, there we have our friends over there. But Hamish, let's just break down a little bit about that jump today. So, you came into the competition, you know, you jumped 2:19 at Cook's, but you were after a height to really get yourself secured into World Indoors. That must, you know, take some weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, you know, I think as a team we've sort of talked about indoors being a potential comp for the year, but for us, you know, September is where we want to be doing our really big jumps. So I think ultimately, you know, whatever had happened domestically, I wasn't too worried about a qualifier, but yeah, it definitely puts it on the table now. So we'll be looking at whether we're going, and yeah, if that is the case, I know that I'm in really good shape to compete and hopefully get the win there as well.
Yeah, well, you've had a big week, you know, winning the Sportsman of the Year at the Halbergs. How great was that for athletics, for you and for your team and the people that have helped you along the way to get to this point? Yeah, look, the Halbergs was an awesome night. I took Simeon and Tamsin, who are my physio and my strength conditioning coach, up with me. So yeah, Jimmy was there, my partner Maddie, my mum came along as well. So yeah, it was just awesome to spend it with those people who, you know, probably behind the scenes we have hours and hours of time with. You know, they're the ones who really kind of drive spin the wheels in terms of getting better. So yeah, to be able to kind of take them up there and enjoy a night was really special. But I have to say I was pretty exhausted for the last couple of days after. So yeah, even today, just, you know, waking up and be like, oh, I feel like I got some energy again was good. Well, you did have some energy. You had some spring in your step. But I want to go back a little bit because I was on the fence line with Terry Lomax, who's obviously been a huge influence on your career as well, and others. I wanted to give you the opportunity to talk about those other people. Yeah, I mean, look, like I said at the Halbergs, there's hundreds of people who have really helped me, and Terry is, you know, front and centre of those people who, you know, aren't currently kind of in my program but have done so much for me. You know, Terry brought me down here when I was 21 and sort of a little bit different to what I am now, and he sort of shaped me into the athlete I am today. So yeah, I think fundamentally the thing is that, you know, obviously everyone sees me out there competing, but you know, the number of people who are behind the scenes just really trying to spin the wheels is actually mind-boggling. Sometimes I sit down and think about who's actually, you know, helping me out. It's just, yeah, the list just exhausts me. So it's great to have those people, Tessa especially, and yeah, I'm just so stoked we've got such an amazing community that just gets behind athletes. And there's been a lot of people get behind you today. There was a lot of people who came here especially to watch you, not only my friends that I've been hanging out with this afternoon, but so many people. How does that make you feel? Well, I'm stoked. I mean, you know, like for me, sport was something that I really watched a lot of when I was growing up, and I loved, you know, I had all my sporting heroes in various different codes, you know, whether it was rugby or football or sailing or, you know, all sorts of things. I just watched it all on TV, and, you know, I think for me, feeling like I'm in a position to be able to kind of give back to the sport in that way now is something I'm very grateful for, but also don't take not lightly as well. You know, it is sort of a different world now, but I just hope that, you know, everyone back home or, you know, sitting out there just wants to get outside and just do something now, because I think that's what it's all about, is just getting out there and just using your body. Well, I've asked a few of the athletes, the Kiwi athletes, a few quick-fire questions this afternoon. So I'm going to go to you, Hamish Kerr. Now, the first one is, what is your favourite ritual pre-comp? Afternoon nap, for sure. Yeah. How long? Usually about 30 minutes, but sometimes if I'm tired, like up to 2 hours. Good snooze. Okay, favourite hype song? Favourite hype song, anything by Subfocus. Yeah, I'm a bit of a D&B head. Okay, great. Okay, now if you weren't high jumping, what would you be doing in track and field? Probably the 400. I'm a bit of a sucker for pain. I've got the legs for it as well. I think that once I wind up, I'm pretty good. I'm not saying I'm good at the 400, but I think that is sort of the event that I do love as well. So yeah, every so often I go out and do one just to remind myself why I don't do it. But yeah, I do have a little hankering for it. What about a little Canterbury 4x4 leg? I think I've seen you in action for them. I did it a few years ago, and my head's still sore from the lactics, so I won't be doing it anytime soon, I don't think. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, final question in the quick fires. Who is your track and field inspiration? Oh, track and field inspo. Probably Mutaz Basham, Qatari high jumper, 243. You know, he's done it all. Came third to me at the Olympics, but you know, he's been someone I've kind of
grown up watching. But probably what I love about him is that I grew up watching him, when he was at high school. I started watching it under the desk when I was supposed to be doing work, and he was jumping, 240, 242, and then I actually got to meet him and I compete against him, and I've actually realised he's just such a nice guy as well, and he's sort of become someone who I really look up to in that respect as well. So yeah, it's kind of one of those athletes who is an amazing athlete, but also a great human. So I love that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Hamish Kerr, you put on a clinic today. You said you wanted to jump high, and you did. 2:30, you've put the world on watch. World lead, 2:31. I was wondering if you'd go to 2:31 or not.
Yeah, I said to Jimmy when he told me to go to 2:30 that I was like, oh, surely not 2:31. But no, he said, look, let's just get a safe one in there. Not that 2:30 is safe, but just let's just get one in the books, and then we can go from there. So yeah, I'm sure that world lead will be sort of going down sometime soon. Maybe not me, but it'll definitely be someone around the world. So yeah, it's a long season ahead.
Well, thank you very much for coming out here and putting on such a display, and also for the time that you are giving to all the people that have come out here to watch you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Hamish Kerr, Olympic champion, and another ITM title in the bag, 2:30 for today.
To the women's triple jump we go, where we just missed the final attempt there. That lady in centre screen is your champion, Maoko Takashima, and she has improved on her previous best, which was 13.44 in the third round, gone 20 centimetres further, 13.54, but it was a real nip and tuck battle between Maoko and Desley Owusu, who finished as runner-up, 13.39. Shea Beach down the long round. Jump.
Good height off the board there for Shea. That was his final round.
Best, of course, is 7.91.
We'll wait the measurement for that. There are still a few jumpers after Shea, because he jumped his big jump in the fourth round, so he was only placed in fourth at that stage. So there's still 3 jumpers to go after him as we await the final.
7.46 for Shea in his final attempt. So remains in front with a 7.91, but still to come. Felix McDonald's, Natsuki Yamakawa. Oh, sorry, not Felix McDonald. Natsuki Yamakawa, Harrison Williams, and Shotaro Shiroyama.
They're all capable of going past Shea, so it's nervous time waiting here, and see if any of them can click on the 8 metre barrier. You can see the wind sock there, so they have got a slight tail coming over their shoulders. Looked like he was right on the, no, just over. Oh, and he'll be a bit disappointed with that. It was a very good jump. Just edged on the board there. Yamakawa not too happy with his final jump. Had a 750 first up, and then a foul first up, a 750 in the third round, and then a string of fouls. Just the swirling wind playing a little bit of havoc with these jumpers, we've heard. Coming down over the slope there and signing some autographs for a few fans who are staying around for the horizontal jumps. Still a good crowd on that bank watching a very good international competition. So Harrison Williams is in third, can't be beaten for third, but if he jumps over a new personal best, he could jump into first or second.
It would have to be a PB. 7.90 is Harrison Williams' PB.
But he's had a pretty good competition, jumping regularly in the 750s. Personal best 764. He's getting that crowd on the bank going. A nice little tailwind looking like it for the sock as we go there. Max Atwell joining in to clap in the background. Looks like he's right on the board. Not a red flag straight away. White flag's gone up. That's good. He jumped out of the pit pretty quickly, which is always a good sign. And let's see where they go. He's having a look. He's, they've done pretty well. They're having a look at the tape. They want to see what it is. Just not quite by the shake of the head there. We'll wait for that distance to come up very, very shortly. Goes over and has a chat to his coach, Andrew Murphy, who has a number of jumpers here. He's very 7.59, so
is that the third time?
He jumped 7.59 3 times in one competition. I don't know if you could pick that. So 3 7.59s and a 7.56. as he chats to his coach Andrew Murphy. He's obviously feeling like he's got it. Andrew Murphy, a fantastic supporter of this competition. He is the Australian horizontal jumps coach, and he always brings a good squad over here.
It looks like that might be it with Shiroyama.
He has passed his last 2 attempts, so might have a slight niggle there, and that will bring an end to our competition at the International Track Meet for 2025.
So Shea Veach taking it out with the best of 7.91. He'll certainly be encouraged. 8-metre barrier remains elusive, but it is close. And I think I just heard there over the stadium announcer that that national record, Bob Thomas, 1968.
Yes.
That needs to go. It's had its time, surely.
Yeah, I think it'll go eventually. But look, I think Shea will be very happy to jump in the 790s again. And it's just a matter of putting it all together. And I doubt the wind was much help to him at all today. And hopefully we'll see in the next couple of weeks at Nationals or somewhere around there, we'll see that 8 something, 8XX.
Indeed. Well, that concludes our coverage of this edition of the International Track Meet. Plenty of enjoyable moments throughout the afternoon, both on the track and the field. The crowd has been fantastic. Just to conclude, Craig's just pointing at the women's discus result. Unfortunately, due to all the excitement down at this end with the high jump and the shot put in particular, we weren't able to bring too much of the women's discus, but can tell you that Nanaka Kori took it out of Japan with a best of 57.97 and a season's best for Tatiana Komoana out of the Tiaraha Athletics Club, again with her second attempt, 56.83. And Zan Beatty, might be a personal best there as well for her. Let's just see where that came through. Is it the 48.08? No, in fact, it was the final round, 49.49. So great to see a PB there for Zana Beatty. There are those full results there on screen for the women's discus. Craig Motley, fantastic. To share this commentary caravan with you. It's great too to have Keely O'Hagan in, Georgia Hull's in as well, of course, the fantastic work of Sarah Cowley-Ross down trackside as well, and those slow-mo pictures from Adam were nothing short of superb. Thanks to all the crew that helped put this production together. Hope you've enjoyed the live stream this afternoon. Plenty of athletics locally still to come with nationals, as Craig alluded, in a couple of weeks' time down in Dunedin. Looking forward to being part of the broadcast team for that. But that'll do it from here at Ngā Puna in Christchurch. Have a fantastic rest of your Saturday.
Show me what you got, no you can't resist. You know I'm ready for this, I just do what I do. I ain't got nothing to prove, so just roll with this. Yeah baby, roll with this. I can do this all day. I can do this all day. Back up, on the run this town. I'm headed for the top and you know it's going down. I can do this all day.
What's the best thing we grow in Ōtautahi Christchurch? Time and space to play. We have some stunning playgrounds here, exciting ones and inspiring ones. Playgrounds for children and your inner child too. We grow delicious kai that brings everyone together. We grow great times, once in a lifetimes, and unforgettable memories. We grow by enjoying big things and the little things too. If you're seeking balance, this is the place to grow a deeper connection to our nature, culture, and people. Ōtautahi Christchurch.